All right, guys. It looks like it finally worked. I had to refresh the page because YouTube, great platform. So it's all working. Can someone just let me know that they can hear me? Because apparently YouTube is a great platform. And okay, good. That's what we like to hear. Because YouTube does not have any sort of little thing on it that says, "Oh, this is your microphone volume." So good. You can hear me. That's swell. So let's read off the chat. So History Army Productions. Good day, faithful. Hello. Formerly Gaslight. Nice to see you here. Not sure why you changed your name. Oh, Maxwell Clark is here. Oh, the Historian. He's here too. William. Okay. Wow. Okay, you guys are here. Oh, and Ian Graves is here. Pajama Llama. Yes, Pajama Llama is here too. Oh, the King's here again too. Okay, we got some people. Let's rock and roll. That's enough. Let's get started. So, I did this live stream because the channel turns 1 year old. I don't have any sort of celebratory poppers or anything. So how unquaintly not British. We don't have anything to celebrate except we don't even actually have the little flag. Oh, wait. We got to get the flag. We got the flag. Let's go. We've got no poppers, but we got the flag. So let's see. So where do we start? The channel is 1 year old. So actually the channel will turn 1 year old at, let's see, 10 o'clock p.m. I think is when it starts. Except if you're in some countries, it will say actually that the channel was created on the 16th because of the international dateline. But it was actually created on VJ Day 75 of last year. So it got started because if you look at the channel avatar picture thing, that I took on the 11th. And with a whole bunch of other things, I'm like, hey, let's try doing YouTube. So here we are, a year later with, let's see, what is the official count? Cool. So I think it's important, though, to thank some people. So Brandon F. You guys should all know Brandon F. and Chris, the Red Coats, have been really helpful. Those are two of my friends getting me to this point. So they get a big thank you and a thumbs up. So anyway, let me check quick look at chat as there's people here. Do an M1 ping to celebrate. Regrettably, I cannot do an M1 ping to celebrate as I have these really tiny hands and it is hard to put an M block clip into the rifle. So regrettably, we cannot do that. So I'm sorry. If you want to get me a thumb extension, though, that we can make it work. Grants one for thereabouts in a year. How does it feel? How does it feel to reach nearly 1.5K? I actually don't know because I started this, had no idea where it was going to go, and somehow I've made it here. So out of a few things in my life, this has actually gone relatively successfully. So we've got that going for us. So it's kind of fun. It's interesting. A lot of negative comments and whatever stupid stuff, but all things considered, it's pretty fun. And most of the people who I talk about in the comments with sometimes, a lot of you guys are here. So kudos to you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys, I would not be here. And if you weren't here, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. So in a way, I actually am talking to myself, but you guys are here. So next up, Pajama Llama. Not much to celebrate in lockdown here. Regrettably, yes. The past 18 months have not been too jolly. So yes. 2020 Sadness Channel. Actually, that is partly true. This was the 2020 Sadness Channel as it was something to do. So I started this in 2020. So it probably was one good thing to come out of 2020 for me. Maybe. I don't know. All Lafayette Bombers here. Hello. Pajama Llama loves the content. Yes, I hope so. Goes forward. I remember your first video. Can't believe that was 10 months ago. Yes. So actually, the channel anniversary is today, but the first upload was not actually until September 15th, which is the following month. So maybe we'll do something again there. So I created the channel and then did nothing with it for 4 weeks. Excellent. Very productive on my part. Let's see. Love to conclude how small he is. Yes, I am 5'5", and I have tiny hands, so very small. Civil. Did I miss Civil War week by week? Oh yeah, he said hi all. Actually, for a while there, Civil War week by week was the first one to comment on my videos. So I'd upload it, and Civil War week by week would be one of the first people to comment on them. So that's kind of cool. Though he's been slacking lately, so I don't know what's going on there. Do you like cheese? I do like cheese. I actually prefer harder cheeses like cheddar, Swiss, etc. I'm not as much of a fan of American cheese. I though do prefer American cheese on grilled cheese sandwiches. So take it what you will. Also, if I'm an American, so it's kind of a rite of passage to have to like cheese. So if you don't like cheese, it's really hard to live in this country because cheese is on everything. One card argue too much. And I got to speed it up here because, oh man, these are flooding in. Holy hell. How's the weather at the front? The weather at the front, Mr. Woodbury, is very warm. I had to turn off the air conditioner to do this stream. So this house was not designed with warm weather in mind. Houses are not designed like they are in the tropics. So it's starting to heat up in here. And the kids across the street are screaming, so I can't open the window too much either. So it's the kid's birthday, so we'll let him have it. Who's negative towards you? Oh, just some guys. A lot of the negativity actually comes on gun videos, as those people can be really intense. There was one guy who I actually didn't engage, but Chris ended up engaging with, and he was all getting upset with me about charger clips. Chargers. He was all like, "Nah, I don't like that shit. I'm American stripper club." Some other stupid stuff. Maybe we'll do a mean comments thing. He was just getting so perturbed. It's little things here and there. For the most part, though, people are really kind and courteous. So, taxidermist to help me with my thumb extension. Yes, that might be helpful for me. Then I can make the M1 ping all the time. James, keep up the good work. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Lafayette Bomber. Where do you get your maps from? So if you guys have seen my maps, this one here is a pictorial map of the world from the 1930s. This is actually some Amazon thing that a friend just had laying around, and I'm using it. You can get this on Amazon, though. I know there's a lot of issues with Amazon and treatment of workers and stuff, so take it what you will. I try not to purchase from Amazon as much as I can. It's not always possible. So that's where this one came from. I could probably put a link in somewhere. These two back here are just some random world maps. This one, the top one, my mom got at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. And this one came from an artist and craftsman, which is a craft store. And they have these different kind of maps and papers and things. So that's where these ones came from. And actually, these are printed by the same people. And they're all printed in Korea, I think. So that's where the maps come from. It's actually really hard to find historic maps that are not overly expensive. This actually one here was like $40 or something, I think it is. But these are somewhere around $5 to $10 or something like that. So not too expensive. So that's where I get my maps. Oh, you subscribed to this channel because Brandon told you to. Yeah, I actually owe a lot to Brandon, so I should thank Brandon more, actually. As Brandon is actually how I got the good start and a good subscriber base. As being my friend, he was really supportive. So thanks, old boy. Would you ever do a Royal Lincolnshire European theater impression for the Battle of Normandy? I'm not sure. I don't. This channel is primarily the British in foreign stations, not so much necessarily Europe. I know there's some World War One content. Uh, I might consider it. Problem is, I just sometimes feel like Normandy is overdone and D-Day is overdone. So possibly in the future, if I ever have enough money to make all the impressions I could ever do, but it's not on the short list. Pajama, no, I have not got the Ice Settler boots yet. As again, money. If I did, I would buy those right now. But regrettably, there's so many other projects that I'm working on that a lot of the World War One stuff has gotten pushed off ever so slightly. I said, Civil War Week break. Yes, you have lost the first commenter role. Come on, man. What are you doing? You always used to be there. I'd post at like 1 a.m. and you're like, oh, there he is. You're slacking, buddy. I do like jazz. Yes, I do like jazz. Quite the fan of jazz. Yes. Hard cheese, definitely, yes. The cheese. God, it's flowing in. I'm an American. He says surrounded by. Yes, I know. Touche. Tell us, does Brandon bully you? Is he the negative? No, Brandon does not bully me. Brandon is one of the most supportive people of me doing stuff like this. So he's been a really good mate. More than I could ever ask for. If he was bullying me, would I ever tell you? Because that'd just be embarrassing, wouldn't it? What does your channel go for by next year? What kind of goals are we talking about here? Anything in specific? Chat below and I'll come back to it. I'm not a gun channel first. Yes, that is correct. People who come from gun videos don't seem to really understand that very well. That I do feature firearms on this channel, but this is not specifically intended to be a gun channel. Oh, Noah Gibson here. What's up, buddy? How are you? Curious with your Lincolnshire kit. Have you worked on personal items for the impression? I have so many hours myself. No, I have not done the nitty gritty items of the kit. I need to. I just have not gotten there. Just so many projects, and RevWar is getting up and going again. So kind of the AWI stuff has taken a lot of time recently. So I have not been focusing on other things as much as I could be. So I need to get back into that stuff. Britain. So the only British flag that I have in here currently, or any sort of Commonwealth flags, I'd like to get more. They're sometimes harder to find if they're specialties, and I like nicer ones. But everything is now that nylon digital printed stuff, as all the flags are about to see are. So I have a bunch of these little flags that I have like 10 of them or something. So we have this one, very much not exciting, just a little. And back here we have the flag of the Straits Settlements, also known as British Malaya. So that is some cheap whatever printed one from China that I got on eBay for $8 or something. And it actually came just in time for the unboxing of the Lee Enfield video that was in September, I believe. So that's what that is. That is a Straits Settlements flag. Okay, what is I got interested in just because. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the Loyals kit. So yeah, Singapore's pretty cool. Hope we can do more Singapore stuff soon. I want to do a lot more stuff. It's just, again, cost, time, and energy. So we'll get there. Room tour. Actually, I was considering that as the 1-year special video. So maybe I'll do that soon, and we'll get that out. Oh, yes, King George III. Yeah, I saw your comment. I just have not had a moment to respond to that yet as I was getting ready for this, but I will respond soon. It's cool that your great aunt's son was in the Royal Rifles of Canada. So hopefully we get that kit soon because we need to get that out for Hong Kong 80. Custodian. Really glad you started this channel. Yeah, that was a big reason for starting the channel was I wanted to watch some content that isn't really on YouTube. When it comes to the British Empire and Commonwealth in foreign stations, there's not really a whole lot on there. Um, so I kind of am creating content that I think is there's a little bit of a deficit on. Need to get better at doing it, but yeah, I'm trying. Check out Histodian. Histodian has a few good videos on there. Histodian needs to make more content actually. Southeast Asia Theater for some reason was the shout out of the. It does. It really that theater really does, and I'm not entirely sure why. Europe is always the big thing. Obviously, there are reasons of why, but the East does largely get forgotten, and in general, the army in Burma, it's literally called the Forgotten Army, and it has gotten more recognition in recent years. So hopefully that will continue. Just a shame VJ Day 75, where there would still be veterans, was during COVID. So that really sucks. Now that he is at 1.5K, the collab with Rob needs to happen. You guys want to go message Rob? Be like, hey, go do a video with Jonathan. Actually, if I had my act together and started the channel when I actually wanted to years ago, I probably actually could have, because I actually met Rob at a British military forum shoot. But it took me forever to actually end up starting this channel. So yeah, I procrastinate. Let's see. God, I'm losing it here. If I miss your comment, just say it again. I'm just going through these really quick, and I'm gonna miss some. Oh God, gotta scroll faster. Do you think you can do a straight settlement volunteer force loadout? It is in the plan eventually. I need to get some actual straight settlement stuff. I actually was gonna buy some straight settlement shoulder titles, but I forgot, and someone else I think bought them on eBay. So yes, I would like to. It's just in the future. So guys, just keep commenting this stuff in the future. It will eventually happen. There's just only so many things I can do because the budget is only so large. This channel has no budget. It's just me putting my money into the channel. So what is the hardest part of your YouTube career? So what are you talking? Which part of it in terms of subscribers, how to make content? Which thing, Civil War week by week? A little more specific. I want to answer your question as best as possible. Let's see. US Gators versus British putties. What do you think is cheaper? Cheaper, but Gators can be faster. But I personally do prefer putties, as I just like putties better. I don't have a real opinion of why. I don't know. Let me think about that one. It's just doing British stuff. The Gators are an AWI too. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never actually really thought about that a whole lot. When your celebrations from Sweden, love your videos, working moon. Oh, too. Okay, focusing on. Cheers, mate from Sweden. Yes, this channel has quite the international following. Thanks for joining me. I know it's pretty late there in Sweden. Sometimes guys comment, see what times work best. I know we have such an international audience. It's really hard to plan it for everybody. I know one of the guys I think down in Australia wanted to join, but it's just it's late there. So yeah. When do you use your uniforms? Not as much as I would like to, like at all. I need to use them more. I'd like to do some more historical shooting, but as you saw in my recent community post, I just haven't found a place for doing as much historical shooting as I would like, as regular old ranges just are not very good for that kind of thing. Also, yeah, it's really hard making content for other platforms and such. It's just this is the way it is. What is the best British service rifle in your opinion? Well, each service rifle is kind of for its own period, so it's really hard to compare things that never served at the same time. So that's a really hard one to answer. I do have ones that are my favorite, but what is best? I'm not entirely answer that I think would be honest and truthful. I like the Martini Henry in particular, and I do like the Lee Enfield, but I also like the land pattern musket and 1853s and stuff. Just certain things are my favorite. So, then, what is my favorite in terms of shooting? It's there's just so many variables. It's hard to always give clear answers. No, that's not helpful at all. Who are you already? Congrats. Yes, DE. Yes, it's a year. That snuck up on me really fast. And I have a nice subscriber base of most of you guys who are commenting here today. So thanks again. I really appreciate you all you guys. Have you ever been to Britain? No, I have not been to Britain. I would like to go to Britain. Um, so hopefully that will happen in the actual near future if I can things go well. I know COVID is making travel things difficult in general. When B-Man Brandon moves to Britain, I might also be more inclined because I don't actually know a whole lot of people in Britain in terms of friends. I think there's some people here, obviously, who are in Britain, but I actually don't have too many people I know who are in Britain. Mostly, I know people in Europe personally, but that's how that is. What gives you the most pause or headache? Um, the most pause or headache is hmm. It really kind of depends on the week. In general, making content is can normally be fun. When I try and do it regularly, it gets really tough. So that can be kind of a headache. I want to put out one video per week. It's just hard when this channel is right now mostly hobby. It makes things a little more difficult because I do get a lot out of it socially meeting you people, but there's not a whole other lot out of it. So it makes that is somewhat challenging. Overall, it is really fun. The people are really nice. The fellow creators, the viewers like you guys, they're all that's pretty is really good. But the biggest headache sometimes is just creating content, trying to get out and get it out there. It's not normally hard. It's a little bit of a it can be somewhat of a grind sometimes. But also, another thing is it would be there's certain projects I want to do, but there's certain things that I need to get a project done. So I think that is actually one of the biggest headaches is getting all that stuff together to be able to do a project because I do try to have a decent quality on the channel. So sometimes that actually is probably what gets in the way is that I really want to have good quality videos because I know you guys expect good quality videos and I expect myself to put out good quality videos. So that sometimes me is the biggest headache in terms of creating content. I don't know if that answers your question, Civil War week by week, but if you want to ask another one, you can go right ahead. What's your favorite color? As you can see, it is all orange in here because that actually was my favorite color as a child. So it is now still orange. Not sure if I like orange so much now, but it is the color of the room. I'd actually like some floral, like 18th or 19th century floral style of wallpaper in here. That'd be nice. But this is probably going to be how it is for the time being, probably for a long time. So that's why you see orange, in case you couldn't figure it out. But actually, I do, in terms of actual practical favorite color, it is red. Discount History Channel. How was your day? It was pretty well. I went and stained my grandfather's lamppost. Then I had dinner with him, and then I came back here to do this live stream with you guys. So, all in all, it's been a pretty good day so far. Do you only have field uniforms for reenactment and collecting, or do you have any dress and service uniforms? Robert Nicholas Ford. Mostly it's field uniforms. I do have certain collections of stuff. I'm trying to get into more collecting as it does help making content and having examples of stuff. In terms of impressions that I have, they are all fields. I do have a old Grenadier Guards uniform that the brown one in there. I have some other. I think that's it actually. Yeah, actually, I have my friend Ian of Royal Blue Traders. Actually, there is a I have downstairs. I have a beat up 1930s mess dress jacket that needs to be restored. Um, so that's probably a little more formal. But all in all, most of my kits that you've seen on this channel or will see on the channel in the near future are going to be field ones. I will probably in the future, we might do some more formal stuff, but I just haven't gotten there uh, at this point. Can only afford so much stuff. Let's see. Brandon has worked with Atunche, and I think it'd be fun to see you join them in their glorious nonsense. Yes, that'd actually be quite fun. Except I actually don't know Atunche personally, so don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But he has some really good content. Of course, I'm sure you guys all know it. It's probably one of my favorite creators out there currently. Great guy as far as Brandon tells me. Just joining in, channel. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, Charlotte B. Yes, I'm trying to keep entertaining content, and yes, we've reached a year. It's still boggling. The channel has. Who knew I'd make it this far? I didn't quit. Can't quit now because I have all of you guys. You'll shame me. Fed here asks, congratulations on winning from Russia. Cheers, old boy. Wow, we have so many other people from different countries on this channel. I actually have never realized that. The analytics are really bad at telling me how big the international following is. So I know we had the guy from Sweden and Russia. So thanks guys for actually letting me know. Because YouTube analytics is like United States, Great Britain, and then it's like, yeah, don't worry about the rest. Was Ian from Forgotten Weapons like he is on YouTube? Yeah, he is pretty much like he is on YouTube. He's a really nice guy, super bloke, just like Rob. They're just really nice guys and super friendly and always there to ask questions, answer questions rather. Message retracted. Oh boy. Civil War by week once a week is only for the insane. Are you trying to say Civil War week by week that you're insane? Is that what you're trying to say to me? Do you like historical fiction in literature? If so, what era of history do you like most? It really just depends. I'm not necessarily always the biggest fan of historical fiction. That's actually that's not true because a lot of the stories I have read are historical fiction. No, I'm not always the biggest fan of alternate history. I do like historical fiction. Um, Actually, I like all sorts of things. I've AWI mid 19th century stuff. It really just depends. I'm not when it comes to historical literature. I'm not like I don't discriminate. Usually, the periods that you see here or presented on this channel or that I reenact are generally what I would read. Um, so that answers that question. I hope. Ross, I was hoping to visit and live on the Channel Islands. Yeah, the Channel Islands are very cool. That actually be a place I'd like to visit too in the future. Channel Islands are pretty cool, though, as long as the French do not invade Jersey. Damn, they're flowing in again. Sorry. What question should I? Should I ask out a girl and say yes? Not sure. You should be asking your advice on relationships to someone online on the internet here that makes historical content. I'm not sure you wanna follow me for that. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. Honestly, though, maybe just go for it. Probably good for you in the end. Do you plan to do something outside of the British Empire field? Potentially. I could. But most of the stuff I have and reenact is British. So that's kind of what is here. I probably, maybe, if I get the stuff. Obviously, you've seen the M1, so that is not that's not British. So yeah, I might. It'd be interesting. If you guys, it's all what you guys want to see too. So let me know what you also guys want to see. If it's practical, I'll try and do it. Just have so much content hung up that I just need to shoot and record. Where do you get the canes that make you 70% more sophisticated? Please, I need to get one before I lose my sophistication. To the horrible meme lords commenting on historical folk songs. Please, where? Okay, so we got to pull up the cane first, don't we? Shit. Damn it. Let's see. So, the cane. 1 second, I just knocked over my Keki Sola Pith, which you will see a video on soon. All right, so the cane. So this is a 1930s cane, bamboo cane. This one is from eBay. You can get a lot of good stuff on eBay. This one was $20 or something. The cane's fun. I personally like having something like a cane because it gives me something to do with my hands. So this one came from eBay. And there's a lot of good ones on there. Just be careful with eBay when you order helmets, as you can see in the Complete Sadness video. Oh, and I miss commenting on historical folk songs. Yeah. Oh God. I should shop with Far Off Station in historical fiction. Yeah. Except, can you go shopping now? I guess in this country you can go shopping because things are open up because we live in America. So yeah, I guess you actually can browse the aisle now. Frenchman, where I need to grab the best. Yeah, probably pick it off of a soldier on Jersey. Any relationship advice I can take at this point, and fingers crossed. Maybe just go for it. Just fix bayonets and go for it. Isn't that the British way right there? Just do it. I mean, in a lot more words and commands, actually, but that's kind of what they do. Capital recommendations. No Frenchies yet. Don't worry. They're coming. They're coming. What are your interests outside of history? I do play guitar and keyboard very remedially. I don't have an instrument here to show you, but must I have my two favorite instruments that I play are a Fender Vintera Jazzmaster and a Rickenbacker 360 12 string. Though I haven't played those in a long time. I've been doing I haven't done as much music lately. When I can, I like to put on the stereo and put the records on. That's always fun. What other things do I like to do? God, I've been doing so much history stuff. I don't even know what I do now. I do like a nice drive on a summer evening. That is always enjoyable to me. Obviously, I do enjoy target shooting. That's always fun. Again, I don't do as much of that as I should. Let's see. Are there any other interests? I don't know. Let me think about that more. God, I keep thinking I'm getting ahead here, and they keep coming. Fife or drum and preferred march. I do prefer. I drum because I think you can do more with drum in army service than you can with a fife. Preferred march. I like a lot of marches. I don't know if I have a favorite march. Obviously, I am partial to British marches, but I think I don't know. That's a very good question. What is my favorite march? Though I will say though I do prefer band marches than I do prefer marches played on fife and drum, as there's more fullness to them and they're more dynamic. Excuse me, I appreciate it. Well, just don't come back on me when your relationship stuff does not go well. I'm just some person on YouTube who makes history videos about Britain and her empire. Cecily, the French are coming. Yeah. Yeah. This is then when the what is that thing called? The Viet Cong guy, the flashback GIF. That's when that happens. Wow, that actually works really well. French and Viet Cong, yes, because they are actually intrinsically related. Favorite band? So I have different favorite bands depending on what I'm listening to at certain points in time. If we are talking about favorite band just throughout the little things that I enjoy here and there, it is probably more than likely Simon and Garfunkel, as I actually have those LPs, and that's what I listen to most frequently. So that's probably what my favorite group is. Should I ask out Staff Sergeant Derringer? It's 1862, and I'd be discharged and sent to jail, but I'm lonely, and there's an off chance that he might say yes. Well, do it. You can always run away to the northwest frontier of India and become the king of some princely state or something. Like in what is it? Wow, I'm really space today. The Man Who Would Be King. You can just go off and do that together. So do it. You'll enjoy it. British way is 3 volleys, then doing business with the cold steel like the 87th Irish Fusiliers. Yes, that is correct. That is most assuredly traditionally British. Give them some fire and then fix bayonets and solve that problem quite easily and quickly. Sometimes not even 3 volleys. That yes. If you had to reenact a British a military other than Great Britain, which nation would it be and why? Ask me that again. Let me think on that some more. Cecily is laughing. Peninsula, where is it? Keep noted. He said the French are coming, boys. You guys ready? Are we gonna defend Jersey when the French come? Yeah. Why do you want me to say Sabaton? No. Do I need to? Lily okay, yeah, it's actually now that you bring up Lily Bolero actually probably is my favorite, as that's what I usually whistle the most. And Lily Bolero was also the theme song for the BBC World Service. So actually, Lily Bolero probably is my favorite, and it's also Barry Lyndon. Uh, British Grenadiers. I used to like British Grenadiers more, but in AWI reenacting in our unit, British Grenadiers is always, always fifed, and I've really lost my taste for it. So, sorry. Ford, yes, you're welcome for the answer, Ford. Private Ford. The British Grenadiers are good. I also like the girl. Yes, the girl left behind me is a good one. Regrettably, everyone only knows that from the Civil War in this country, and that really kind of sucks. Because in this country, it's Civil War, Civil War, Civil War. We have Lamont here recommending Rifleman Moore. Yes, I do recommend Simon. Though Simon says that he is going to be doing more English Civil War, but I haven't seen any of that content yet, so I'm not sure if he is actually doing that or not. So we'll see what happens there. Simon is really knowledgeable on this stuff. So if you guys haven't already checked out Rifleman Moore, I highly recommend checking him out, as Simon has some really good stuff on there. King George, yes, definitely. Oh. William is once again asking about what I would do. I don't know. I haven't thought about other nation I would do. I don't know, William. I'm still thinking. Never been asked this many questions in my entire life. I think. Harv Station, I suggest Sabaton the Dead Men Are Marching In. I'll have to check that out. Do you Civil War by Week asks, do you plan on doing Anglo-Zulu War? And by that I mean, please do stuff on the Anglo-Zulu War. I probably will. If you guys haven't already, Brandon has some good videos on Rorke's Drift and what happened the day of the 22nd of January, 1879 at Isandlwana and Rorke's Drift. I probably will. Before that, though, I would like a mid-1870s kit. Though this is not anything that has to do with what's going on in the world. It's a little oddly timed, but I do want a kit of the 67th or 66th Regiment of Foot in Afghanistan in 1879 and 1880, which we have a similar helmet of that period here, though this one I probably will use for something like a Grenadier Guards in Egypt in 1882. King George made the Grenadiers popular. I do like the Grenadiers. Just sometimes I hear that song too much. That's the only thing I have against Grenadiers. And that's sometimes in our unit them saying huzzah like 50,000 times at one event. That's the only thing that really has irritated me about Grenadiers. Otherwise, I think Grenadiers are very cool. Singing British Grenadiers is great fun though, says Cecily. It is. It is a classic. Top 100 songs of Imperial Britain in the 18th century. My friend Colt's here, and he says, "What up, boy? How are you, Colt? How are you doing?" Colt probably heard us talking about Grenadiers and randomly appeared in the chat, as he really likes Grenadiers. Geez, a great march. I drew the lyrics, but I love Louis Bolero. Yes, I would concur. And again, Louis Bolero is probably my favorite as more I think about it. Your favorite question asked is back. Oh God, Colton is here. Yes, oh God, Colton is here. We must run very, very quickly and hide behind a barricade. All jokes aside, what do you know of the Crimean War? I know the basic idea of what happened in the Crimean War. Oh, I just hit a Wosley. I think the Crimean War is interesting. It's just never been my big area of interest. It is a big seminal war in the grand scheme of things. I just have never really gotten into it. I probably might at some point. There's so many other things I read about and look into and make content on that I just have not a lot of time to get into the Crimean War. Ask her. Yes, Screaming Eagles. I think Anglo-Boer War would be cool to do as well. Yes, Anglo-Boer War would be cool. I'd actually really like to do Second Boer War, because I think those kits are cool. There's a lot of history there, and there's a lot of really disgusting history of the Second Boer War. But that'd be a cool kit to have. So I need a Longley Enfield for that, and I don't see that happening in the near future. So we're gonna have to wait on that. And I do like to have kits with a rifle because I think just having a basic generic rifle kit is cool and helps just show basic soldier. You know, like my friend Matt, he's putting together I think an Anglo-Boer War bugler's kit, but I just like having a standard rifleman's kit. That's just my opinion. Wire highish and repro helmets. Sorry, my eyes are just letting me down here. So, why are high-ish end repro helmets as much as low-end repro boots? It's not even real leather, and my feet hurt. I couldn't answer that question. The way the reenacting market goes, it's never quite clear why things are the way they are. It also just depends on where stuff is made and etc. A lot of stuff is made in India and Pakistan that ends up being cheaper because really cheap labor and really bad working conditions. Are you aware of the Fenian raids? The Fenian raids here on the Canadian-U.S. border? Is that what we're talking about? Yes, I am familiar with those. Actually, maybe that's what we should use a Snyder for, is a Canadian militia kit. Colt, Grenadiers rule. They do rule. Grenadiers are cool. Let's see. Colt. Oh, Colt is saying stuff is cool, but the rifle's nearly impossible. They're not impossible to find, Colt. They do exist, and they have come up. I should have bought that one I saw on Gunbroker ages ago instead of worrying about if my friend had another SMLE of mine to use. But I didn't. I was trying to be a bloke, but then I could have built so many kits. You could find them. They're here and there. They are just very, very expensive. They're just expensive. The Lee, yes, they're expensive. The Lee Medfords and Lee rifle, the early Lee Enfield, the long versions of them, whether it's the Medford or the Enfield, are very expensive. A lot has to do with also because they were used during the First World War, and so there's a lot of attrition, so you just have less of them. Uh, Also, any thoughts on remote miniature historical wargaming? I have not gotten into wargaming. Might be a fun hobby at some point. There's just too many other things right now. I think there's some cool wargaming and some really cool stuff that people do with it. Actually, I've seen this guy who has a cool like Sudan wargaming table, and that's really cool. Let's see. 1895 Mazdas can be had for $400 to $500. Yes, it's the you can do a if you want to do a little bore impression, you can just do one of those. You get a nice twill suit and a Mauser, and there you go. You're fighting the British in South Africa. Custodian. I'm trying to find a good priced Mark 1 the Enfield for Canadian Singapore impression. Having quite a hard time finding one. Still trying. Yeah, they exist. They are just hard to find as people hang on to them, and there's just not as many as say like a short magazine Lee Enfield as they went through the First World War and got used or heavily used, and they're really expensive. Oh, Max fancies light infantry more, so him and Colt can argue in the chat here. Ever gonna do? James G asks, ever gonna do Continental Army reenacting? I'm gonna lay it to you straight. Probably not. I might maybe try it at one point if there's an opportunity. But I got to be honest with you. Continental has never really drawn me in so much. I'm not entirely sure why. I particularly like the impression that I have now, which is Boston, 1775, 10th Regiment of Foot. As I do like the British Army in foreign stations, and that's kind of why I do that. I also just it's an interesting period in world and American history. My advances are controllable internet, so I'm bogged down and I'm in a semi plenty on a success. Okay. Cecily asks, where did you get your shirt and your cravat? So this cravat was made here at home out of some silk that we had lying around. So that's where this came from. This shirt, I think this shirt, I actually don't know where this particular shirt came from. That is I don't know. I'm not going to speculate because then I might give you information that is inaccurate. But the cravat was made out of silk we had here at home. So this is made here, which was actually patterned off of this one. This is a Paisley one that I ordered from Britain when I was going to school in Chicago. This one's just cotton. William was asking about what other country I would do, and I'm stumped here. I actually do not know. I really don't. Max, I think the main reason I don't do continental reenacting is because of GI syndrome. Yeah, that is a fair thing that actually bugs my friend. My friend Josh actually talks about that fairly frequently. Is that Americans never die. They never die. You'll blast away at them at like some event like Old Sturbridge Village, and they'll just roar. They just they're just doodles, man. They're just like they don't care, and it is really a thing for people who reenact American. They never want to die. They're just so like though the grenadiers in our regiment don't like to die either, but that is a outside of the usual data. Usually it is always the Americans who do not want to die. Bring back silk cravats in 18th century men's fashion. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's bring back. Yes, I think it's a good style. Yeah, I think those are their two styles. It's cravats and 18. What I think I do like about 18th century clothing is that it fits. I personally am not a fan of baggy clothing that does not fit. It's just not my thing. Not it's nah. Okay, thanks. No, man. Would reenactments be better if you had water guns? Um, that might actually be an interesting thing. Probably, yes, probably be nice for those nice summer events where you're literally dying in a wool uniform. It's actually not that bad in a wool uniform, but it would be it'd make it a little cooler. Everything tailored and bespoke, says Cecily. Yes. Tailoring tailored and bespoke is the way to go. Um, though actually the jacket that you normally see me present in is not actually tailored, but it has the tailored fit. So close enough, I think. Have you ever been to Singapore? Um, I think yes. I actually think I staked that a couple of times, particular in the first video actually of the Loyals kit from September 15th of last year. The I was in Singapore for 3 months working at a family's startup company. They actually though have moved to Belgium. They do not live in Singapore anymore. And actually, that's where the coat that you normally see me present in is from. That was my 20th. Yes, 20th, my 20th birthday gift. It's a Benjamin Barker jacket from inside of the. So it was in this where I was doing the stuff there was in a place called Suntec City, and so in classic Singapore fashion, you have tall buildings, and then you have like this mall thing that's part of the development because that's the big thing there. We got to include shopping, which is weird because that's kind of what we're getting rid of here, in a way. But yes, and so that was from the little one of the stores that was in the Suntec City Plaza that my aunt got for me for my 20th birthday, which was years ago now. I'd like to dress my great times seven grandparents if it would be deemed weird. Regrettably, I think it might be deemed weird, though you are King George III, so things like that might not be deemed so weird for His Majesty. Winston Stone, the captain of my company, is saying hello. Hello, sir. Nice to have you along on this wild ride of a live stream. What would you trade to have seen the Waterloo 2015 reenactment? I would have been nice to be there at the Waterloo reenactment, but I don't think I necessarily trade anything for it. Um, would have been cool to be there. It would have been cool to be there, but I don't think there's anything I would necessarily trade for it. Um, though that event was very cool. Though it's Waterloo, it's not actually the Netherlands anymore. So is it really Waterloo? Uh, Neil Chen says hi. Hello, how are you? Nice to have you here. Max says, all right, I'm going to head out. Congratulations, 1 year. Here's to 10 more. Thanks, Max. Let's hope we're all here in 10 years. Yeah. Hope to see you again soon. Maybe we'll do this again. Ford asks, Worsley Cork helmets predate steel helmets. Cork is cheaper than steel, and it was battlefield serviceable. Why aren't Cork helmets standardized? Well, there's, I think, a really simple answer to that question, my friend, and it is that a piece of shrapnel traveling at 300 meters per second will go right through a Cork helmet. That's why Cork helmets were not standardized. Well, they were standardized in certain theaters for certain things, but that is the reason. A piece of steel from a shell casing goes through cork like butter. Cecily asks, you dress like a tutor. I don't know. When it comes to 15th through 17th centuries, I don't know yet. I'm not really sure about that. Not quite sure. Maybe just to try. I'm not sure though that's something I'd necessarily get into. Definitely think there are some cool things that happen in those periods. And it's definitely a big foundation for the basis of 18th century. Mate, you have to go to Islandawana and Rocket Drift. Obviously, Works Drift. I've been there a couple of times. Very eerie. Quite the experience too. That would be very cool. If this channel could make some money, maybe we could go see these things. That'd be pretty cool, I think. You guys could all come along with me. Yeah, I would like to go there. I've heard that it's quite a moving and big experience. Um, yeah, that'd be cool. You dress like a legend. Ah, says Cecily. Guess so. Sean Stevenson. Yeah, oh yeah. Correction. Lafayette Bomber. What is your favorite YouTube channel? Um, I don't think I necessarily have one single favorite YouTube channel. No, my own. That's my favorite. No. I think mostly what you see on my recommended channels tab is kind of my favorites. And I have my friend Matt there, which I have to. Hopefully, he can get some people. It doesn't really make a lot of content, but those are usually the big channels. That and Atunshe and Forgotten Weapons. Those are probably all the things I watch the most. Forgotten Weapons is I don't watch as much as I probably alluded to in that video. Um, but I think the big one, in terms of probably my favorite in terms of filmmaking quality, history, it probably actually is Atunshe in terms of well-rounded content. That is probably my favorite YouTube channel. If I had to take a wild guess, um, it's probably my absolute favorite. If we have to, though, people like Rob are obviously really good, and etc. Obviously, my friends Brandon and Chris, probably partial to them. What's behind you in between the shelf and the maps? What's behind you in between the shelf and the maps? You're talking about the tunic or the rifle here? Please clarify and I'll answer your question. Flanders mud is real, man. Deep and nasty stuff. I can see why why the Emperor tried to postpone the take. Yes. Flanders mud is notorious for being quite terrible and wretched. So there was actually a guy on eBay who was trying to sell these putties, and he was like, "Has real Flanders mud on them," and was trying to sell them for extra. Like, what an asshole, man! God, like, it's got Flanders mud. It's worth more. It's not Flanders mud. Can you confirm it's Flanders mud? Cecily asked, "I'm talking." Oh, you're talking to King George about his seventh great grandparentage. Oh, yeah. Talk to King George about that. I'm sure he must be getting old these days if he's still talking to us here. I understand that I am in fact stupid, but I didn't realize I was that stupid. Thank you for pointing on my. Hey, actually, and again, I'm the guy who thought being gay in the 1860s would be a good. I don't think you're stupid. Just go be the leader of a land in the Himalayas. Things will be great. You're not any sort of idiot. So are we invading the Zulu kingdom then? What could possibly go wrong? Cecily says, he said to dress like his seventh great grandfather if it wasn't considered weird, so I had to estimate when the line of succession that would be. I think, hey, Cecily, I think that is quite fair. Yes. So, no, I dress like a Hessian. Really? Like a Hessian? Come on. Hopefully not like a headless one. Rifle. Okay. So, here, let's just pull the damn thing out. All right, boys, here we go. So, this is a Martini Henry rifle. This is an 1875 London Small Arms Company Mark II Martini Henry. This I handpicked at International Military Antiques when the British Military Forum has its annual raid and shoot in Pennsylvania. So this I've had since 2019. So yes, this is a Martini Henry Mark II. That's what this is. Lafayette Bomber, make a Patreon. I would make a Patreon, but I only have just under 1,500 subscribers, and I'm not sure how many people would actually want to be on Patreon. So it seems stupid to create something and then be like, oh, we've got one person. Woohoo! Oh no, we're gonna do that. We gotta have the flag. Woohoo! So that's kind of why I've kind of kept back from that. I know a couple of you guys have said, "Hey, do you have any sort of donations or whatever thing?" But I haven't necessarily felt comfortable because I haven't felt like there was enough. There would be enough people to warrant anything like that. Do you play any video games, and what games do you suggest? I don't actually play that many games. I just never have gotten into them. I probably would play them if I had a dedicated like computer or something to play games on. Um, the only game ever really have played by myself was I actually just played World of Warships, and the only reason I ever really played that was because I am a big fan of early 20th century warships, such as dreadnoughts, battleships, battle cruisers, etc. So that's kind of why I even downloaded that game, but I haven't played that in a long time either. Maybe I should get into playing some more games. Okay, but they cost more money, so it's like, what's the priority? Sean Stevenson asks, I really need advice on as to how to get a very good quality reproduction India pattern brown best. Any good makers out there other than Pedersoli or Moroku? I'm actually not sure. I have some friends with India patterns, but I'm not sure where they came from. So maybe comment again sometime on something, and let me look into that because I'm actually not sure. As most of my friends do not do Napoleonic or 1812. Though in fairness, you could get away with just a short land pattern. All right, so what is your favorite historical thriller? Not sure. I don't think I watch. I don't think I watch a lot of. Are we consider things like actually thrillers or just historical films? I'm a whopping 282 King George. Yeah, must you gotta tell us your secrets, man. Because mate, because if you're 282 years old, there's something working there in your lifestyle. Civil War week by week. I'm with Lafayette. You should make a Patreon. Okay, so we're at should start tallying this. I think in terms of someone actually talking about do you have a Patreon, and we're up to 3 or 4 now, maybe something like that. So let's see. I don't know what the magic number to break of people recommending you to have a Patreon is. King George. Which says, I'd rather have the Zulus and the Maori on my side. Yes, that is probably true. The Zulus and Maori they're some pretty good warriors. Oh, the dog is here. Lily, do you want to say hi? No. No. Do you want to say hi? This is Lily. There's Lily. She finally got up. Hi. Okay, you can sit. Hi. Oh my God, I need a Martini Henry in my life. Yes, you do. Every adult needs a Martini Henry rifle. I agree with Lafayette as well. I would donate much if I had valid modern currencies. You don't have valid modern currencies? Do you only have like shillings from the 18th century? We'll take those. Cecily says, if you make a Patreon, that's money you could put right back in the channel. Right, that is true. And it would be fun to do it. I'm just concerned that there wouldn't be enough people. But maybe there's more than I think there. Lily, come on, wait. Lily, move. Go lay down, Lily. Go lay down. Sorry. She's not supposed to negotiate with terrorists, aren't I? But she's here. Yeah, so maybe I could put it right back in. I'm just not sure how much it'd make. So maybe I'll start putting up a tier system, and you guys can give me some advice on it, and we'll talk about this in the future, and we'll see what can happen. Because maybe there would be enough. Yeah, maybe there would be enough. Friend, you also like fine. You definitely making money on picture. You put your Yeah, I guess it's kind of discouraging. Because Chris and I have actually talked about this. Is that lately kind of views have been like YouTube's been like, nah, you don't need views. And then they blame it on you, saying that nah, you just need to make better content. No, it seems like YouTube sometimes just doesn't recommend stuff. which is seemingly a problem. But I shouldn't be so discouraged by that. It's because I do have a good following, and I'm really grateful for that. It's still sometimes getting used to what the hell this thing on YouTube is. Cecily says, "People want to give you money. How dare you not let them?" This is the Futurama gif. Shut up and take my money. I know. I'm just when it comes to money stuff, I hate accepting things like that or just any sort of. I just doesn't necessarily make me comfortable. It's just weird. I think I'm still in a position where I'm still going like, wow, people actually like watching me online. That's just still boggles my mind. Trying not to get choked up here. Nothing like hearing a Zulu war cry or even singing one. It really gets you pumped up. Imagine 4,000 plus men chanting at you. Yes, I think that'd be quite an intimidating experience. Yeah, not something I necessarily might want to be part of, or rather, seeing from 1,000 yards away. That just, as much as some of that imperialism stuff is really kind of nasty in history, the guys like who were doing that, and just being soldiers, it is impressive, kind of what they stood up to sometimes. They're talking about George. Cecily. That's not a dog, that's a horse. Yes, she is quite large. She is a Old English sheepdog, and she weighs 75 pounds. She is very large, but she is the sweetest girl. We got her in at the end of June. So Lily's cute. Yes, Lily is very very cute. She is a really good girl. Yeah, we got her from the New England Old English Sheepdog Rescue as her family surrendered her. So that's how we got Lily, but we love Lily. So money shouldn't persuade your creators should. Yes, that is true. Um, no, it's just sometimes money does drive content because you need it. That's all. So it's just a balancing act. So, but we'll get there. Winston has two. Yes, Winston does have two Martini Henrys. He has a British Martini Henry and an Austrian Martini Henry. Gibson. I'm on Instagram if you need me for our station. Yes. Also, I'm gonna probably create a Instagram at some point in time. So you guys just stay tuned. I have my personal one, and I know some of you guys have found me there, which is totally cool. I'm just trying to figure out, do I want to create a separate one or do I not? Brandon has recommended to me that you can just use your personal one. There's enough. There's a good security with it that it's fine. So I might just rebrand that, the Far Off Station. I haven't gotten there yet, but there is actually a Facebook page if you guys want to see that. It's the Far Off Station. There's nothing on there yet, but I figured I should have that to make it easier, easier to kind of get in contact with me if you need to. I know some of you guys have already done that. So if you don't already know that, there is a Facebook page. It's called the Far Off Station. Come find me, and maybe I should probably do more with that. Let's see. Ford asks, I live in a museum and I'm paid in shelter, food, and Wi-Fi. I don't know what human rights they're violating, but they're operating the phone. I'm a shriveled 100-year-old flesh kid. Civil War Republic says YouTube really doesn't promote HistoryTube. That's why it's such a supportive team. Yeah, YouTube. When it comes to history, it's a really mixed bag. They don't always like it. And certain things they consider aren't advertiser friendly because it's too dodgy. So that is part of the problem with history content on YouTube. It's can be good, but it can be really bad. And YouTube, in general, is a platform. I'm about to be shadow banned. Watch this. YouTube is just they kind of just like they don't care. They really are kind of tailored to corporations at this point. It used to be really about small content creators, but at this point, it really is. It is kind of dedicated to the big guy, and that's where the advertising money comes from. They say that we give out so much money to content creators that we don't have any money, but YouTube is making bank. They just don't like They just like keeping us. They don't like their profit margin so much. They want to have a really big profit margin. So that's YouTube. That's my opinion on YouTube. Laffy Bar. Do you watch Time Ghost History? I do not watch Time Ghost History. Is it any good? I feel like she's bigger, uh, as big as you. Yeah, she's pretty big. I wasn't reading the chat on my phone. I'd kind of like show you a picture. Yes, she is. She's a very large dog, but she is the sweetest dog. She's a really good girl. Um, let's see. Would you ever want to watch As a Bird from the Air, a massive cavalry charge from the 11th, 19th centuries? I think that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. Probably never going to happen, but I think that'd be interesting. Also, guys, if I'm not reading your name, it's just because it's either really long or just the pronunciation. I don't want to figure it out. So some people's are just simple enough that I am reading them off. So I'm sorry if I don't read your name, but you hear me read your question or comment. Sean Stevenson, it really makes me proud when I see people taking an interest in my home country, South Africa's history. As a proud South African and British citizen, privileged to have an epic heritage. Yes. Yeah, so maybe we'll eventually get to some South African stuff. Probably not the nearest of futures. This year's British Military Forum shoot is actually in in the Second Anglo-Afghan War. So that's where I would like to focus for that, but that's not even going to happen in time. So none of that's 18th, 19th century stuff is going to happen this year. It's just I don't have the resources. I need to finish the Royal Rifles of Canada kit for Hong Kong 80 and finish my American War of Independence stuff right now. Let's see, getting near the end. Facebook, I just posted from Instagram, says Noah. Yeah, you can do that too. I gotta figure that stuff out. I actually meant to have some of that stuff figured out for the live stream. I just haven't. It's just not happening. Lafayette Bomber asks, "Are you interested in medieval English history?" I mean, not so much. I have watched content on it just to get a basic idea of it, and I think it's interesting. But besides just watching, I think that might be enough for me, and what my interests are, just to get a basic idea of human history. Private Ford asks, if for any impression you need facial hair for accuracy, will you grow any, or will you wear a janky fake one from the children's section of a general store? I don't see myself having too many impressions that require facial hair. In general, I'm not a big fan of hair myself, and the periods that I really, besides maybe a mustache. Oh shit! Sorry guys, it disconnected there a little bit. Not sure why. Anyway, yes, facial hair. Also, I really can't because my main impression that I do most of the year is American War of Independence, and that's just not going to fly. It's not a thing in the 18th century. So regrettably, even if I did, I couldn't. But again, facial hair is not my thing. I do like this look. This is kind of me. I've got my styles, and I'm kind of stuck with them right now. Kind of inherited this style, not inherited, but created this or had this style for probably about 5 years now. And it's kind of my thing, so I like it. Lafayette Bomber, what do you do for a living? I do a multitudes of things. Not sure how to go into that without turning into another rant. I'm not sure people want to hear that rant. Can you tell us more about the British Military Forum? So the British Military Forum is a forum created by my friend Mike. You might have seen him in the most recent video. What is that video called? When I Met Ian, that one. So in that one, if you see Mike, he created the forum, and the forum basically is more dedicated to arms and shooting them, particularly Victorian ones. And so it's kind of a community about like working up loads, looking at markings, figuring out what things are. It's focused towards shooting. If you want, you can look up the Facebook page and the forum on Tap Talk. It's a forum. But it is mostly firearms related. It kind of stems from it's really 19th century. God, trying to answer these. Let's see. I have not watched Little TV Wars video on his son Tawana. Lots of times to get things done, lad. We'll be here for the juicy content in the intro. I'm excited to see what you have up your sleeves for the channel. Yes, thanks, Steve. Or excuse me, Sean Stevenson. Yes, hopefully more content soon. I'm really really so much I just need to make. It's just that's what's keeping me back. I really need to find that damn pit or something so I can shoot the backlog of stuff. One of them is seeing how durable a 18th century light infantry cap is that my friend Dylan had made and tested some period jacking on, which is basically hardening. So I'd like to do that because I think that'd be a cool one, whacking it with some weapons and stuff, and seeing how durable a period helmet is, because there's nothing like that on the internet. So that'd be cool. Uh, Noah is leaving. See you, Noah. Thanks for stopping by. No, this is really long. Just trying to get to everyone's questions. See, old boy. Cecily asks, "He's a baby safe with great hair. It would be a shame to put a scraggly beard on that. Mustache would probably look great though." Yes, I might have to try and put a fake one on and see how it looks. I know I have this whatever face that doesn't seem to ever age. I'm 25 years old and it's still just it kind of has looked the same for the last 25 years. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It just is. But when I had, yeah, I don't need to worry about that too much more, I guess. Just is. Yes, that's what he asks. Ford asks, for legitimate reasons, where do you live and what is the model of lock on your door? The museum I live in absolutely does not work. Does not work. Question me, and I promise I'm not trying to steal Woolsey. I live in New England. I think that's been, like I said that earlier, actually. But yeah, I live in New England. Do I need to tell you about the lock on my door? That seems like a real reason for you to steal this Woolsey. I think you do want the Woolsey. You say you don't, but I think you do. Yes. So I'm a New Englander. I am an actual Yankee, not those damn Yankees they say is from the North. I am an actual Yankee because I am a New Englander. New York Yankees are not Yankees. Yankees are New Englanders. So I don't know why they have that damn name. What do you hate about alternate history? I don't necessarily hate alternate history. I have enjoyed things like what is that damn show called? That Amazon one. The one where the Nazis win the war. The Man in the High Castle. I do enjoy it. I just sometimes think it gets too far away from history and then sometimes doesn't always do history justice. And I personally feel that history is captivating enough. So why do you need to have alternate history? So that's my opinion on it. I don't hate it. I do not hate it at all. I think there's some really good ones. Cecily says it's a good thing. Yes, I think it's a good thing. If Winston and Cecily think it's a good thing, I think we're cooking with gas. So we're week by week. Favorite soup? Not normally always into soups. I like soups. Just sometimes some soups are weird. My favorite soup is. Do we consider chowder soup? Because then my favorite, in, of course, classic New England fashion, is some sort of seafood, fish, clam, whatever chowder. Those are probably my favorite soups. I think they count as soups, right? Tomato soup. Actually, I do like tomato soup. I used to hate it as a child because you'd see it in like the American cafeterias and it just looked like a red thing. And so I thought it was terrible. And so American education system ruined tomato soup, I think, for me in its appearance because it's there on the disgusting tray looking thing. So yeah, but actually tomato soup is quite good. It's basically just watered down tomato sauce, isn't it? Who is your favorite monarch? Are we talking about a specific period here? Are we talking about monarch of all time, monarch of a certain country? Yeah, clarify and I'll answer that better for you because I want to give you the best answer for your money. Really? What's your favorite historical clothing maker? So Ian Graves is asking me what my favorite historical clothing maker. I think Ian Graves is probably my favorite historical clothing maker. Actually, the guys, if you are in need of some 18th century clothes, do check out my friend Ian of Royal Boot Traders. He's a great guy. He's one of my best friends. He makes really good quality stuff, so check him out. He's a good friend of mine, so check him out. You can find his website. William asks, I'm currently writing up an paper about Wars of Roses. I don't know much about the War of Roses, so I can't comment on that. King George, yes, it is of course you. If we're talking about the 18th century, it is of course you, the one and only King George III of Great Britain. And probably I'd have to say he probably is my favorite, as that is my primary impression is American War of Independence, and I say that we should save his life an awful lot. So there's probably a good argument you can make that King George III is my favorite British monarch. Ian Graves, I'm super desperate. Yes, you are. Just kidding. You're not that desperate. Winston Stone is laughing. Who is your favorite British military general of all time? You keep giving me these things like all time. Like what are the metrics? I have to say, and this is relatively probably unsurprising, it's Howe, man. He's our guy. He's the AWI guy. He is the guy who we are constantly fighting with. In my main impression, if we're talking about really good generals, I think Gordon is very cool. And Slim fighting in Burma, Burma fame. I think Slim is very cool and a really soldier's soldier. So, but greatest, just favorite. So, yeah, but definitely for 18th century AWI, it's Howe, man. Howe's a cool guy. And if only he had come around those Yankees in Brooklyn, would be part of the British Commonwealth right now. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Favorite Beatles song? I don't know. It's a good question. Depends on the mood, what era. Because the era really changed. Probably for a while it was All My Loving, as I used to listen to that when the year changed. Just because it was, I don't know, I just did. Not sure what my favorite one is now, as I haven't listened to the Beatles a lot lately, though I do have LPs of the Beatles. What is your favorite book? This is gonna look really bad. We're talking about novels, graphic novels, what? But if we have to talk about just in general, it's actually one of the things of why this channel is the way it is. It's Tintin and the Blue Lotus. This kind of also got me into this period in place, which you see a lot of my content in. That's probably like my favorite thing ever. I don't read it all the time now. But novels, I haven't read a lot of novels lately or don't read a lot of novels a lot because I'm mostly reading history books, either to make content or research or something. What is your favorite monarch of England of all time? All time? England, or are we counting Great Britain and the UK? Is it just England? Are we just England? I don't know. Because we gotta have it's England or Great Britain or the UK. It changes the answer. What is your most favorite historical rug maker? Do I know any historical rug makers? There was a guy when I was in Turkey who was really trying to sell me rugs. I ended up just buying pillowcases from him. It's kind of a letdown. He loved those. He loved me. He was a great guy. He was just people in Turkey were really friendly. They were great. How many cups of children's blood must you drink to maintain that 24-year-old baby face? Depends if I go out or not. On a day when I am going out, probably about 5. Howe is a very good choice. Yes, I think Howe became a little too after the stuff that happened at Bunker Hill. I think if he became slightly less decisive, and that hurt him later. But I think Howe all in all was a really good general and did care about his men. What is your favorite Italian hill witch? Ian Graves, my favorite Italian hill witch would be Angelina, which you live with. That is my favorite Italian hill witch. Did you know that at one point Sicilian freedom fighters wanted Sicily to become part of the United States after World War II? I did not know that. You learn something new every day. Why is Arthur Wellesley one of the greatest? Yes, Wellesley is a really good general and really another soldier's soldier in a way. Not necessarily what you might call slim, but he definitely did care about his men in a way that I think is really nice. Well, Wellesley is a cool guy. I think some of his quotes get taken way out of context and proportion, though. As he was general of the army, and some of the changes, he did become that really kind of conservative guy of not wanting of change, and it did hamper the army. But during his career as a general, he was really good. QE2, best monarch. Yeah, if we're talking about best monarch of all time, yeah, but probably yeah. Uh, Also a cool ship, the QE2. Favorite member of Mr. Iconic Scooby Doo? I don't know. Uh, God, I keep saying it to a lot of these things because they're just like questions I'm not expecting. Though the cheese ones I was able to answer just fine, wasn't I? Not sure who my favorite Scooby Doo character is. I do like Scooby Doo though. I was a real fan as a child. What is your favorite English, British, UK monarch of all time? Probably besides Queen Elizabeth, I am a real big fan of King George VI. I think he was a real good leader. Led his country through the war, a real family man, and overall a really decent person, all things considered. Um, and overcame a lot of adversity for his country and the empire. God save the East India Company. Oh man, if you're in Boston and it's 1770 something, you are so getting tarred and feathered, my boy. Only five? I have to drain at least five orphanages to continue even the basic function. Well, Ford, I guess you're just not very efficient when you drink that blood. Wait a minute. Cornwallis is the best of the crown jewels. Cornwallis is a really good general. Yes, I would also agree with that. Cornwallis. And Cornwallis was another really good general, just across the board. I do really like Cornwallis. That's actually probably a better answer, if not Howe, but I do like Howe and Cornwallis quite a bit. Cornwallis is a cool guy. And if you don't know about Cornwallis, he also went to India, and regrettably, he died in India. He had a long career after the AWI, um, unlike other generals. So Cornwallis is a really cool figure. I recently purchased for King and Country Letters and Diaries of John Mills, Coldstream Guards, 1811 to 14. I cannot wait to dig into it. Is there anything similar to that Jenny wish for? I'm actually not sure. It's a very good question. I don't know. I don't really think there is. We have a lot. There are diaries that exist, such as we have Sergeant Lamb's America. This was actually a birthday gift from Brandon. But besides, there's not a whole lot of diary stuff, but there is some that exists, and there are some letters. What is your favorite regiment of the British Army? I'm actually not a guy who gets into what is their favorite army. I don't really favorite regiment. I don't really have a favorite regiment because I just enjoy certain regiments in different periods. I don't really have, oh, this is my all time favorite regiment. I do have regiments that I, across the board, think are cool, um, such as the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, the Grenadier Guards, of course, the 10th Regiment of Foot. Obviously, any of the ones I have a kit on, like the North Staffordshire or Loyals, because I have a vested interest in them somewhat. But I don't necessarily have a favorite regiment. I think a lot of regiments are actually pretty cool, and a lot of them have really long and proud histories. Do you portray a soldier in the Anglo-Zulu War due to that you have a helmet and Martini Henry? No, I do not. It'd be probably cool to at some point, as I have the Martini. Though this actual helmet is actually incorrect for the Anglo-Zulu War, as it has a puggree on it. This I would more than likely put into a kit for the Grenadier Guards in Egypt in 1882, which is actually what these are. These are some reproduction packets that I made of the Martini Henry wrapper for cartridges, small arms, ball rifle, Breech Loading Martini Henry Mark III, 1882. That's actually why I created this label. Okay. Which side would you pick for English Civil War? Oh God. I don't know, man. English Civil War is kind of just a mess. I think I stay away from English Civil War. Are you interested in the history of the Dutch East India Company, the VOC? Yes, you know it's the VOC. So that's I am interested actually in the history of the Dutch East India Company. Um, I think there is an interesting history there. So yes. Would you like to go to Calcutta and praise the East India Company? I don't know how well that would go, actually. Probably a really terrible idea. Maybe. I would still think there they would know about the East India Company. The East India Company only controlled India for a long time. Teaching about Howe's nickname. If not, look it up. Which one? Cecily asked, my 8th grade history teacher used Mel Gibson's The Patriot to teach us American War of Independence history. The Patriot? I mean, you guys have seen Brandon's content on The Patriot. Oh, God. Oh, God. That is not how you teach history with The Patriot. If you were alive during the time of the American Revolution, would you support it? Oh, my God. If I were alive during the American Revolution, that would be scary. I don't know. The American Revolution led to. I don't know. Because it definitely leads to America that isn't necessarily always as inclusive as it could be. I know some people aren't going to like that. It is just the reality. I don't know. There's some really bad acts on both sides there that are quite horrendous, especially the sides of such as tarring and feathering people. That's what really some of that stuff like that really makes me not sure if I could support the American Revolution because that is horrendous. So I don't know, but the some of the stuff the Americans rebels, that's technically the period word for it. I don't know. There's some really messed up stuff there that is like ooh. So I don't know. Why are people's babies about safely securing legal? Why are people's babies about safely securing farms? I forgot one, but it's somewhat ruined when I scroll deep down enough and goes into history to my rats. Yeah, um, there's a lot of good people in the American gun owning community, but there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, my rats, and they're just very obnoxious and don't help the dialogue on guns in this country at all. Yeah, it's what's wild. Yeah, we're going to go on a 50-hour rant though about guns in America because there's like probably write a thesis paper on that. My history teacher actually knew the movie The Patriot was incredibly inaccurate, so points him. That's good. It's good that he knew that The Patriot was inaccurate. There's some really bad stuff. Winston, First Regiment, Foot Guards. Yes, of course. That's Winston's love of a regiment is the Foot Guards. What British noble title peerage would you want to have? Duke of Norfolk, Earl of Westmoreland, which is never going to happen. Either of those is actually okay. I don't know. I live in a country that's not really a thing, so either probably would be okay. Duke always sounds important, but Earl sounds just as. I know they're different. I know I understand the difference, but they're each cool. They're Cicely, I love reproduction labels, and that looks great. Yeah, I did that one evening in. I think I did that in Photoshop actually. So those they came out okay. I have a Martini Henry, but I take it shaken. Yes, Ian. Yes, you do. Wait, there's a bit of an irony that the late light rifle King of English was an anti-American. I don't know. We're getting into a lot of history that is William, that is not necessarily in my scope here. So I can't get too much into that. Shauna says, I love how Brandon ripped the Patriot apart. Very good synopsis and Brief on the film in a few parts. Yeah, I think there's going to be more on that supposedly. Yeah, that movie is absolutely wretched. It's yeah, not too great. I do like watching because it's really nice to see redcoats in a movie. But man, it's really bad. Cecily, Brandon is hardcore monarchist. He has his reasons, I guess. Yes, Brandon is a hardcore monarchist. I I'm I'm for whatever government best suits the people. Doesn't matter to me. My big thing is as long as it is not authoritarian, and it works for the people, then that's what my basis is. I don't necessarily have to be dedicated to one thing or another. I just think authoritarianism is bad, and that if when things aren't working for people, that's bad. That's my hot take of the day. King George, Zulu is the patriot of the Victorian era, except it's actually entertaining and not laughable. Do not at me. Don't worry, not gonna at you. Yeah, Zulu's kind of like that, I suppose. But with Zulu, though, I think it really does. When you look at it in the context of 1964 South Africa, it really is good and is really inclusive of the people of South Africa, the native people of South Africa. So that's what I think is nice about it. And you have this apartheid South Africa, and you have um, the natives being portrayed relatively honorably and not just like savages or something, which is actually really nice. And they were obviously allowed on set for a film, which is really good. What would you want to be your next kit to put together? We're talking about after the Royal Rifles of Canada kit is complete, hopefully in time for Hong Kong 80. Is that the question? How good of a dueler are you? Probably not that good. I could probably practice. Why you want to duel me Civil War week by week? Behind the Denny's dumpster. Let's go. I'm normally not a pistol person. I'm generally more into rifles, so probably not as good as I could be. Though dueling is illegal. It's been illegal since the 18th century or something like that. So yeah, we can't do it anyway. What year time period would you live if you were forced to pick? To be honest with you, living in the 21st century is probably pretty good. There would definitely be cool ones to live in, just to observe and be like, oh yes, this is now I know what I need for a kit. But all in all, living in the 21st century is pretty damn nice. You can get inoculations for most things. So I think 21st century is pretty good, all things considered. You're gonna force me though? Is that what is someone doing? Part forward. Out of 10 questions of mine, how many have been actually good questions, and how many have been helping people learn vampirism with King George and you? I think your questions have been just dandy, Private Ford. There are no dumb questions here. There probably actually are. You can probably, but you have definitely not reached them, and you've definitely encouraged some good vampirism with King George. So I think we're fine and dandy there. Cecily asks, I believe our Second Amendment rights are absolute, so just get every weapons you want and don't tell people your business law. Whining about my rats from either side is annoying though. Yes, Cecily's quite right. The whining from either side is quite annoying. It is absolutely wretched, and I've gotten some of those Marats people, and they get really annoying. It's just really annoying, especially that guy who was commenting about Chargers and saying how that's not right. Yeah, they get yeah. But yeah, we live in America, and people are allowed to own firearms, and that's totally fine. I'm not sure. They're definitely yeah. Let's not get into that because that will go on for 5 hours, and then I'll start getting more rage mail from the Marats people because I said one thing that wasn't even remotely anti-gun, but they think it's anti-gun. As you can see, I'm not anti-gun. There's a gun right there, isn't there? Would a close-range musket shot blow someone's head off like a modern? Is this really the conversation you want to have? It'd do a lot of damage. I'm not actually entirely sure, but it would take a lot at the back if That's what we're talking about here. I'm sure that's the conversation we need to be having. But yeah, a musket, as far as a musket ball out of the muzzle at 1,600 feet per second with a 1 ounce projectile, it's a very disgusting weapon if you really want to get into it. Opinion on us pulling out of Afghanistan. Don't we? Isn't that what the West always does? Is pull out of Afghanistan? Isn't that like the thing? Weren't there like 3 Anglo-Afghan wars? What is your favorite restaurant? And it can be local. I actually don't eat at a lot of the restaurants in my 5 mile geographic area because we usually cook. Um, Probably my favorite restaurant in terms of price, food, quality, and just where it is probably what is that place called? If I can remember it. It's in Boston and it's a Chinese restaurant. Specifically Cantonese. Um, I'm spacing on it, and we go there all the time. I can't. God, I'm spacing on the name, but it does have a name, and it doesn't exist. It does exist, and it's in Boston, and it's kind of near Interstate 93. Favorite event you've ever gone to, says Angelina. Uh, I think my favorite event would probably be Monmouth 2018. As when we got out into that cornfield, it was literally like we were marching the 18th century. There was no sounds of anything modern. There were no airplanes in the sky that had flown over. We were just marching through this cornfield. That was probably my favorite event. Was probably Monmouth. Just wish my kit had been nicer at Monmouth and I didn't have this stupid hat that I was loaning until I got a real hat. But Monmouth was really fun. Unfortunate that dueling is illegal now. I guess it's probably a good thing in the long run. Is it's not probably good to have people shooting them each other behind Denny's. Because that's what would happen. It wouldn't happen in like Hyde Park now. It would happen like, oh, we're gonna go to the local Denny's. I actually don't think we have a Denny's here anymore. I think that went out of business when they put in some nice whatever stupid housing stuff that is probably gonna rot away. Monarchists, good or bad? I don't think monarchists are good or bad. I just think they are. I think I have no problem with them. What do you think of Ian from Forgotten Weapons being a francophile? Not everyone can perfect. What's this? 75 caliber, pretty close range, pretty messy. Yes, it is. I have a photo somewhere of a musket ball going through a 2x4. It takes a lot with it. Boy, I'm asking for film purposes. Want to do CGI, enter and exit when properly. I don't know until I get out to a range to be able to do things like this. I'm not actually sure. But you can look actually at Cap and Ball's videos. He has some stuff that should give you a pretty good idea of what a musket ball could do to a human. Wow, we're getting fun today. Hi, Lily. Cecily says dueling may be illegal, but only one of you is going to jail if everything works out. That's true. And then one of you also can end up dead. So one of you ends up in jail, one of you ends up dead. Sounds like a win, right? So that she has a fair point there. I'm nervous to get into reenacting. I don't know where to start. I have contacted my local group. Do groups take people on always, or do they sorry, text is small or whenever they recruit? It depends on the unit. It depends on the period. Are you looking into getting into a certain period? Because like in my AWI unit, it is just we're constantly recruiting. You can join anytime you want. Dab Masters asked, "We're no winning. We're no winning. We're losing." George W. Bush. Mission accomplished. Ford asked, "What % of body parts have your children lost in the factory this week?" Mine lost like 43%, and they're not unable to work. And I have duly punished them for allowing the family to starve. Wow, that's fun. Ian Graves says, "My favorite event was the one I met you." But good answer, Mom. This sounds fun. What event did we meet at? I can't remember, Ian. Oh God, now I look like the bad friend. I don't know what event we met at. Actually, I think the first time I met you was at your house since your dad's the major of our regiment. I think that was is that considered an event? It was like pizza in your basement. Coffee bummer. Worst disease you have ever had? Um, the worst disease I ever had was the standard old influenza that I probably caught off of some kid in high school, and I was out of commission for 2 or 3 days. That was the flu. That was not enjoyable. And then for the 2 weeks after that, I had my ears kind of clogged up from the mucus that was going through my sinuses, and then eventually put pressure on my eardrums. That was probably the worst. Daniel says, "Congrats on 1 year anniversary." Thanks, Daniel Ryan. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Alfred Parsons, would you want to go to Britain soon, like Brandon has done? Yes, except Brandon wants to live there. Regrettably, I would like to live in. I guess it'd be fun to live in another place, but then I wouldn't be able to shoot. And I do like shooting, and then I can't have all these kits. That's the big thing of why I don't think I could ever necessarily live full time in a place like Britain, because also you guys like seeing that content too. So that makes life challenging. Um, in Britain, and the gun laws do make things a little challenging when it comes to stuff like that. So even when it comes to black powder, so I don't think I can necessarily live there, but I would like to visit because I do like reenacting and it's fun. I think that master likes my dog. I like my dog too. I think my dog likes most people. Discount History Channel asks, Otto man, dueling at Arby's seems to be pretty good. Maybe even at Walmart. Yeah, might be fun at a Walmart or an Arby's. Do you have a preference between Arby's and Walmart? Comment down below. I think that's what the famous people do. Comment down below. See, we've made it big. I'm saying comment down below. You like Sabaton? I have no opinion. Private Ford, my goal here is to ask odd questions that others won't. I think you and Ian might get along really well, asking questions that others won't. Though actually, no, Ian usually is about just stating the questions that people already know the answer to. He just points them out. Gemma, did you have any previous service history? No, I didn't have any service history. I had, yeah. I don't know if I'd actually qualify. I think I do, actually, technically speaking. Cecily Erker, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. That's right. Cecily knows what's up. We did get him. But we didn't actually get him, did we? Daniel Ryan, we are always recruiting in my area. Yep. Let's see. I think most students are always recruiting. JT Nelson, would you be willing to join the military since you love history of it? Just curious. I don't think so, because I don't think the military. I think reenacting military and real military are two very different things, and they serve two very different purposes. Real military is to go overseas and do whatever for the country, and reenacting is a lot more educational. It is for education. It's an education. It's for education. It's not actually meant to be where we're playing soldier. There is a component to it that is you're meant to be educating people, educating yourself, the public, etc. Ian says he's fine. Okay, good. Dabmaster, your live streams are better than Brandon's. He just plays Assassin's Creed until 11 p.m. and you're less popular, so you don't need to pay to get your comments read. Yeah, are you guys enjoying this live stream? I'm not sure how a live stream is supposed to go. I'm just here answering your questions. Gotta feel like one of those. I'm here answering your questions. So I don't know how a live stream is supposed to go. If this is boring, you can just tell me. If you're enjoying this format, tell me. Maybe we can do this again soon. But we're back up to 24 people, so I guess enough of you like this. And I actually didn't think I was going to get enough people on this, but now I'm trying to get to all of your comments because some of you are asking some really thoughtful questions. Some of you are just asking really basic questions that are just as cool too. I don't care. So thanks for stopping by. Also, wait, you said mine are better than Brandon's. Does that mean I'll have to duel Brandon now? You can shoot shotgun in certain exposures. I actually do not own a shotgun, as there are no armies equipped with shotguns in British service. Actually, you could probably consider a land-patterned musket a battle shotgun if you really want to get into it. Do one of you find me? Because I'm seeing this person like all my photos on Instagram. Lefty Bomber, duel inside a family restaurant. Oh god, that would be hilarious. Welcome to Jackass. Yes, this is Bone asking about close combat. Yes, and in Europe, they do not. Daniel Ryan asks, "Hey Jonathan, where do you get your British kit for American Revolutionary War? I'm trying to expand my kits from different sides of different wars. Um, it really depends on the unit you're joining, obviously. But in our instance, and in my case, I some of the stuff I have is bought from the regiment. Some of it as I have ordered myself. Again, you can go to places like my friend Ian at Royal Blue Traders or Henry Cook, and they will give you. You can get that's where like, my stuff is. I have kits from them. And Ian has helped me with those kits, or just get stuff right from like Ian. That's generally that's generally what I would recommend for like the woolens, the main components. Some of the smaller stuff you can get at other places. But the big stuff, I'd recommend getting it bespoke from a tailor and not going to Townsend's. Um, Townsend's has really good uh, video content, but their clothing is not necessarily what I can say ideal or is acceptable for accurate reenacting. I hope that answered your question. Do you like the TV show Sharp? I probably would like it more if I could find a place that I can watch it for free that I already have a subscription to, but I'm not paying for another subscription service. It's just not happening. It costs enough. Ian Graves, yo, tell us a story. Um, I would tell a story if I wasn't answering all everyone's stuff here. Cecily Worker says, you have read every single comment so far, and that makes you an absolute legend. I'm trying to. I think I have missed some, but I'm really trying to get to everyone's comments. So I hope that's okay. If you don't like that, I'm sorry. This is my first one. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. This isn't. They don't teach you in school how to live stream on YouTube, so like, just let me be. What do you think of the TV show Sharp? There's some inaccuracies in it, but it seems like it's okay. I've only seen some of the YouTube clips, so I really can't give it a full, I think, honest reaction. Jonathan reacts to Sharp. Lafayette Bar, make a podcast. Actually, some of us are considering making a podcast, some of my friends and I. So you might actually see a podcast. Right, Ian? We're making a podcast, right? We have to now. I told the people on the internet that we're making a podcast, so we got to go do it. If we don't do it, it doesn't look like we're committed. What was the scariest moment you ever had during a reenactment? I don't think I've necessarily had any that I could say were scary. I've definitely seen some stupid stuff, like someone putting a musket right in someone's face at the end of a battle. But I don't think that anything has personally scared me. So yeah, I don't nothing that really sneaks out at me. Angelina, I like your polka dots. Yes, polka dots. I think I like them too as I'm wearing them. I certainly hope so. Sicker. He sewed himself. Yes, this is a homemade garment. My little cravat, handkerchief, scarf thing. Discount History Channel is definitely enjoying this format of live streaming, answering questions and whatnot. Good. So we got at least one guy who's liking it here. I hope it's enjoyable. I think it's enjoyable. I try to be entertaining. Alfred Parsons asks, I need to go because it's 2:50 in the morning in England. But just saying you're great and well done for starting your interview. Thanks, Alfred. Thanks for dropping by with us here on this little thing that I've done. And thanks for joining us. I appreciate you having you here. And thanks for telling me you live in England, so I actually know because I have no idea where any of you are from, and it's cool that we do have such an international following here. Thanks, Alfred. Toodles. Sean, you, Chris, and Brandon, the British are coming podcast. Let's make this happen. You gotta ask him maybe. I know we did that one Redcoats React ASMR thing. That thing that was really bad. That video we watched, and that was something. Yeah, I'd like to do some more videos with Chris and Brandon. It's really fun doing stuff with them. Obviously, we're gonna see less in Brandon when he moves to Great Britain. So now he's doing his little go around the country thing. So we'll see. Cecily says, "Oh damn, we have Tea about Townsend's the chat. I do love John Townsend for that. Yeah, Townsend's is good. I just don't recommend their clothing. They make some really good content, um, and I am a fan of that. It's just I wouldn't recommend their clothing for reenacting necessarily. There are a few things you could probably get on there and get away with, but on the whole, I don't necessarily recommend it. It is fine for certain things, but if you're looking for a really accurate kit, you really need to go get some bespoke stuff. Daniel says, podcast one if by land, two if by sea. That's actually a cool name. One if by land, two if by sea. One of us is going to have to run to the patent office now, aren't we? The patent office cover drafts, whatever the hell it is. JT Nelson says, would you reenact American World War One? I haven't seen it on YouTube yet. Probably not, because then I have to buy another rifle. So, and I have all these things. I just need to complete them. So, if I had endless money, of course, but I don't have endless money. So, until that moment in time, it's going to have to be a no, sir, and I apologize. Mister, you are a traitor to the United States government, and you know what the punishment of being a traitor is, don't ya? Yeah, it's called having to listen to language like that. That is my punishment. Graves, yes. JT Nelson, Brandon hates Sharp with a passion. Yeah, well, Brandon does hate things with a passion. It's also part of the brand. But yeah, I really don't know enough about Sharp to warrant any sort of opinion on it. Winston has it all on VHS. Yeah, that's how you know it's real, when you have it on VHS. Lafayette Bomber, oldest person you have met. Are we talking about oldest person ever that I have met, or oldest person that I currently know? When I was a child, it was my great grandmother. She was probably the oldest person that I had met. Probably the most recent oldest person that I've met was a Second World War veteran on an aviation fuel tanker in the Pacific. And he just recently died this year, actually. So yeah, that's probably the answer to that question. Yeah, and James, care to talk about the Royal Rifles of Hong Kong kit more? What drew the interest? Most folks here in Canada hardly know we have troops involved. Hope we, yeah. So that kit will have some more in the future. The Royal Rifles of Canada kit once it's complete. So this probably warrants a video in itself talking about some of this stuff. But what's interesting is to me is because the reason I want to do it in Royal Rifles of Canada versus Winnipeg Grenadiers is that the Royal Rifles of Canada, some of the guys were drawn from places that are really close to here. Obviously, me living in New England, so they're drawn from places all across Quebec. So that's why I like the Royal Rifles of Canada. And in general, with Hong Kong, my interest is because that's where some of my family immigrated from. So that's part of my interest there. And so there are a bunch of different things. And the kit across the board, I am working on that kit with my friend in Hong Kong. And he approached me like, "Hey, do you wanna help me do with this kit? And you want one? We can work on it." And yeah, so then I said yes, and so I'm doing this kit with him, and so it's kind of a global project. There are guys all over the world who are going to end up doing it. There's one of my guys, one of the guys, Gert, is going to do it. He's in the Netherlands. There's me here in the United States. There's another guy in Chile, and obviously Evan and some of the guys there in Hong Kong. So that's the quick rundown of that. I think that answers it kind of. If you want more, I can answer some more. Daniel, I think I've seen the scariest thing I saw personally was during the Battle of Gettysburg when I actually got shot at cover charge. Look at how did they get shot at Gettysburg? How does that happen? Civil War, man. That's why you stay away from Civil War. It says, any chance that we'll see a cardboard marking of a 24-pounder cannon? No, probably not. I just because it's a cardboard cannon, I don't have a use for a cardboard cannon, so that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. We could maybe put a potato cannon in the guise of a 24-pounder, but we're not going to make a cardboard 24-pounder. That's just not something I'm interested in doing. Ian James says, "P.S. Congrats on winning." Thanks, Ian. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. It says, the British are coming. No, just it's a joke. Private Fortes, can you break dance to a remix of Soldier of the King in full uniform? Which uniform? 20th century is all that was required. No, because that's how something gets broken in this place, and there's no room to break dance to that in here. There's gonna be after this thing like if you donate this much, I will break dance to Soldiers of the King. Donate below, and you uh Laughing Mars, does Brandon watch his own YouTube videos? I don't know. That's something you have to ask Brandon because I'm not Brandon. I know Brandon, but I don't know everything Brandon does. I'm not his keeper. Oldest person this person met was an 118-year-old served in World War I and World War II. That's pretty cool, actually. A lot of experiences there. Angelina says, Townsend's materials goods are fine. The clothes are not the best. That's that. Yeah, that is literally not the best. that again though, great YouTube content. Very good night, all of you. Hope it was a great week, and also congrats on your anniversary. It is late here for me in the UK. Look forward to more content. Take care. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for being here, and thanks for the great comments that you left. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here, and a lot of you UK guys here. I appreciate you joining along. And sometimes, if you guys ever leave a comment, just let me know what time might work better. I don't know. We're all in such a global community here. I'm not sure what works best for everybody. So I hope this time was kind of convenient for the most amount of people as possible. But if we do this again, I'll just let me know what time works best. Thanks. Farbs and reenacting that you commonly see. Top 2. You mean like their kits? What are they doing? Just being at events, or just like people I've seen? Please clarify. What do you mean by this? Daniel asks, so Jonathan, I'm going to make you a bit jealous. My dad gave me a couple years ago a French NCO that was made in April of 1903. That's pretty cool. That's a nice thing to have. Oh, that's great for a collection. Lucky you. Bummer. Who is the most annoying person at a reenactment you have ever encountered? You kind of just get these people and doing dumb things. Just normally those people are pretty good. I don't think I've ever met anyone that was like, oh god, I hate this person. They're so annoying. Most people are pretty good, whether it's reenactors or people coming to events. I don't necessarily always dislike people or think people are nice. I generally get along with people relatively decently. So probably some if I really think about it. Sorry about that. It broke up again. I don't know why. It's the second time. But yeah, so I don't know. Lafayette, that's anyone who tries to touch your guns. Yeah, then. Yeah, there's definitely people when they handle guns they do some really stupid stuff. That's why. Yeah, that is definitely annoying. And James, if you have room for a Canadian, I've got the rifles. Would you be happy to finally get involved in some reenactment projects, particularly anything Canadian World 2? Probably, yeah. Again, the first thing right now is to complete the Royal Rifles of Canada kit, as that is the priority for Hong Kong 80. What's your opinion on the Titanic? Titanic's cool, but I think Olympic has a cooler service career, along with her sister. It's not any less tragic what happened to Titanic, but in terms of total service career and cool things that they did, I Olympic and Britannic did some really cool stuff. Olympic even ramming a U-boat during the First World War. Dana Fox, the Titanic never sank. That's right, Titanic never sank. It's a conspiracy. And Julian asks, hey, you ever gonna go out in nature and meditate like I told you to? I don't know. It depends if Ian, your significant other, if we keep talking all the time. So probably he takes up meditation time, doesn't he? Dabmaster X says, Sir, I will be having to sign off to play heavily modded Men of War Assault Squad 2. It's been a pleasure, and God save the Queen, cough, cough. Chris is better, cough. Well, thank you, Dabmaster, for joining us. You really burnt the village there when you left, didn't you? Thanks for coming along, though. Lafayette Bomber says, most Farb reenactor you have met. I don't think it's necessarily one. There are certainly kind of people who are far. I don't want to call them out on a live stream or on a video, but generally they're not individuals, because most of the stuff I go to is generally events and they're groups. So there definitely are some that I think could do a better job. Um, but I'm not. I don't want to call them out on a stream. That seems mean. Does Brandon have rampant pedantry disease? Yes, I think that's pretty clear at this point. There is no cure. It's fatal. The Titanic never sank. Please explain further. Um, God, I don't. So it actually never sank. The Titanic didn't exist. Actually, even it's just fake. See, the Titanic is just a myth. The pictures are all fake. Not really. Yeah, all the pictures of the Titanic are just Olympic. They never actually created another ship. It's fake. See, King George gets it. Angelina asks, by the way, in saying he's jealous that you are talking to other people besides him. I'm currently talking to 18 other people online right now. I talk to you and him an awful lot and call you guys an awful lot. So I don't know why he's jealous. He gets a lot of airtime. He got a lot of airtime today too. So why is he jealous? Friends get jealous. It's just a thing, guys. It's okay. Friends can be jealous. It's not a big deal. Just be there for your friends. Welcome to my TED Talk. Farb in terms of how they're reenacting battles, like doing things that modern soldiers do, but not as. Oh, there's a lot of. It's not very common, but you do see it here and again. It's people will go to low ready with their whole like this, especially in AWI, which is a 20th century thing. So that sometimes happens, and that's very annoying. Ryan Fox, there's a conspiracy that the Titanic was swapped out for a sister ship Olympic that already sustained damage where the Titanic hit the iceberg and they painted over Olympic to Titanic. And yeah, I know people have said that, but I don't see how that could possibly be true because Olympic's promenade deck length covered was totally different. So unless they totally did that, it just seems BS. And I know they talk about because she had a coal bunker fire, but coal bunker fires were very common in the age of coal. So that would be nothing new. Farb kits, I guess. Yeah, there are definitely some at Rev War events. I don't want to totally go off right now. Maybe Jonathan gets enough something at some point he goes off, but I don't want to totally knock people right now. But they exist. I recommend just getting accurate clothing if you do stuff because you feel better in the clothing. It's the right clothing, and in the end, it's money better served. And some of the Farb quote stuff isn't necessarily. It's maybe slightly cheaper, but if you pay ever so slightly more, get something that's better. So just do that. Titanic, never heard of it. Yeah, it's fake, man. Comment. Getting hit by an iceberg, not cool enough. It's not cool enough. No, it is cool. Ramming a U-boat and ferrying thousands of troops across the Atlantic in a super cool paint scheme. That's what's cool. What branch of the U.S. military would you join if you were forced? I would join the Navy, as I very much like ships, and I think warships are very cool, and the Navy I think is cool. I think the Navy does a lot of cool stuff around the world. They do a lot of humanitarian stuff, and what's as cool as a 100,000-ton aircraft carrier? Something completely unrelated. Who's your favorite fictional superhero? That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. Not necessarily haven't been so into superheroes. I've watched some of the Marvel movies, but I'm not necessarily like, it's like my favorite thing. So I don't know. Good question. You guys can always ask these later. I'm just not sure. Gaming Sentinel. How are you doing? I think I'm doing okay. The stream has been wildly successful. I'm trying to get through everyone's comments. Maybe that I shouldn't be doing that. It's not practical, but I'm trying. And there's still 17 people here, so someone wants to watch it. So I'm doing great, I think. Laughy Bummer. What do you think of the birds aren't real conspiracy theory? So yes, that was created as a joke. The birds aren't real conspiracy theory, and some people have taken that way too, like it's real. So it's really wild. American could be wild sometimes. I knew about the birds aren't real thing when it started, I thought it was funny, but now it's like, oh man, people are taking this like it's real. Ooh. What do you do in your free time? Do a lot of 18th century drilling in my free time. I read. I watch other people's content. I What's do in my free time. I garden. I go outside. I play with the dog. I like to sometimes talk on the phone with friends. I think talking on the phone is slightly more productive than chatting sometimes because you can convey a lot more, I think. But those are some of the things I do in my free time. I like to listen to the record player, which I don't nearly do it enough. So that's some of the things I do in my free time. Obviously, not the complete list. And my friend just messaged me. It would be a real dick move to start messaging you right now on Facebook. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Oh, Cal, you're the best, man. And there, that see, now it's a thing. Now everyone's got to do it. It's a trend. Yeah, it's not muted, is it? Ah, if you guys have learned the hard way, haven't you? I'm being punished. My friends are punishing me. What do you think of George Trader? I have no opinion. Fox, I could change all the. Yeah, you guys are talking about Olympic. Yep. Yeah, it's about the differences. Ford asks, what steel helmets do you have? And if you have an original Mark What helmet, have you had to do with the Dredge Asbestos pad? No, I have a reproduced Mark One. I really needed a real Mark One, but I do have a reproduced Mark One helmet. I know the asbestos pad is a big issue for people. And I'm not sure because I haven't had the pleasure of dealing with one of those yet. Yeah, again, but I don't know. I haven't been able to think about what William Duke of the Normans. I have not had a chance to think about what other country I would reenact because the comments are still flooding in. Because apparently you guys have lots of questions and this is great. I did not know this would be so successful. So thanks for joining. Kryn, my great grandfather was in the Navy in World War I. He also got the Medal of Honor. That's cool. Cecily says, I have an old magazine with a White Star Line ship advertisement. It was the Titanic or the Olympic, but it was some other Greek name. That's pretty cool to have. What is the most difficult part of reenacting? Most difficult part sometimes, at least in my job, being sometimes just getting in touch with everybody and making sure everyone's on the same page. That's probably the hardest thing in reenacting. Nothing's never really difficult. Some things can be challenging, but nothing's always so difficult per se. It generally goes pretty well. There are definitely things here and there that aren't ideal, but all in all, reenacting, it's a hobby. Things go pretty well. So that's kind of that's how it is. Maybe we should do a video on the difficulties of reenacting. Oh, probably one of the biggest difficulties though is just getting everything together. That's just always the hard part of getting a kit together. Just probably the most difficult part because it requires a lot of time and making sure you get the right stuff. That's probably the most difficult part. Why does Brandon keep popping up in this chat? I think he's up to something. Working his way onto your channel. Soon you'll be doing historical rant videos also. Oh God, what will happen then? Yeah, you guys like those historical rant videos? You want to see some of that? Because I probably could. I don't know. What would I rant about though. Brendan's already ranted about the Patriot. Isn't that it? Isn't that all we need to? Oh, Georgic, yeah. I was talking about the Georgic. Cicely says, Brendan is such a monarchist that he's moving to England to complete his kit. Yeah, he's committed, which is just kind of nice. If you're gonna do something, go big or go home. That's Brandon. King JT Nelson says King Brandon. I think a lot of people would have to get killed before Brandon becomes king, or there could be like some sort of coup and he's instituted as king. Oh God, is that gonna happen? Do you guys have a plan? Do you guys have a plan to institute Brandon as king of Great Britain? Let me know. King George says, Crane, basement. Oh, he's responding. Common Man is laughing. Yeah. Yeah, Cal. You think you're funny, don't you? Did you know some Brandon conspiracy theory? You could probably come up with a lot of conspiracy theories on Brandon. Um, I'm not sure what you'd necessarily. I don't know what would he be involved in. Probably be involved in something, but it's B Man. B Man is always the kind of guy who'd be like he'd be a minister and he'd be skimming off the top, and just embezzling money. That would be that would be what Brandon does. Private Ford says, "Good day to you all. I must now sleep so that I have the energy to drink that orphan blood in the morning." Goodbye, Private Ford. Don't drink all that orphan blood at one time. We wouldn't want you to get ill. Thanks for joining us here, and thank you for asking very insightful questions. Thanks. Winston says, tell Ian not to be sad. Yes, he is special. He know it. I know he is. Yes, Ian. If we haven't already made it clear, Ian, you are very special. Everybody loves you. Cal loves you. I love you. Ange loves you. That's it. That's it. That's nobody else loves you. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. Oh, yeah, that's probably it. That's it. You're done. I like members. Make a dueling channel. A dueling channel? I'd probably have to get some of those though Olympic wax guns though to do that. Otherwise, I don't think that'd be safe. Because you'd have one video and then the rest are how I'm in prison, and it'd have to be someone else to make it. Oh, Winston, the bloody weather at reenactments. Yes, the weather at reenactments, as Winston says, that is a big thing. The weather, specifically at Old Sturbridge Village, it always is. It dumps, and that really makes life miserable. That is probably the worst part of reenacting is dealing with the weather. It sucks. It's just not ideal. Brandon's already cornered the market on reenacting history events. Yes, Brandon has cornered the market. So unless someone has a hit on Brandon, as Common Man says, he has cornered the market. So I don't know what you do about that when you corner the market. We're gonna have to institute a monopoly law. I don't know. Get Teddy Roosevelt in here. Yes, Common says he's funny. Yes, especially when you're messaging me, Common Man, on Facebook. Yes, you are funny. Okay, Bomber. Does Brandon have Mongolian children in his basement? I cannot confirm nor deny that accusation. Brandon would be a smug Slytherin perfect if he went to Hogwarts. Probably. Maybe. Though I don't know if he'd necessarily. I don't know. You'd have to ask Brandon that. I don't even know if Brandon even is into Harry Potter. He might be. He might slither. Though I don't think Brandon slithers too much, does he? We're almost at the end here. I'm going on this brand new ocean liner called the Titanic on its maiden voyage tomorrow. Any tips? Yeah. Don't get on it. Problem solved. That'll be the first on a lifeboat. Or bring your own inflatable raft. That's my pro tip. Comment. Love is a strong. Yes. Maybe that isn't the word we should use about Ian. We tolerate Ian. Cecily says perfect and not perfect. Ian Graves. Ian says, "Is this B-Man's page or Johnny's?" He's right. Though we're all friends, so we can talk about B-Man here. B-Man is all of our friends. Though I do owe Brandon a lot. He helped this channel grow quite rapidly. So I do owe B-Man a big thank you. B-Man has been really good for this channel. He's been very supportive and very helpful, telling me what things are best to do, what things best to just overall what it's like to be on YouTube. He's been really helpful, and he's also helped me get a really good subscriber base going. So thanks to my good mate Brandon. Thanks. He's not here, but if you guys see him, you can say thank you for me. See that he's a right bloke, because he is. He's a good guy. So Brandon's probably here right now watching, plotting. Actually, that would be Brandon. Brandon would plot like that. But you would never know. Something would happen. You would never know it was Brandon if Brandon was plotting, because things would just happen and you would never find out it was Brandon. That's how Brandon rolls. Cecily says, a perfect Prefect is the kid who gets to boss or other. Yeah, yep. That is what a prefect is. He is like a boss. We don't have prefects in America because America. Yes, that is what a prefect is. Comment. Actually, I'm almost never talked to B-Man. Yeah, maybe you should become a man. Talk to B-Man. B-Man's a great guy. We might not see B-Man a lot now because he's moving. I don't want to see B-Man as much as we used to. So maybe you can't talk to him. Oh, King George is talking to somebody. Comment. It feels like I know him more than I actually do. Well, yeah, it's weird though. You feel like you know someone more when you see their content online. It's a weird one-sided relationship. The internet's a really weird place. YouTube is a really weird place across the board. Lafayette Bummer says, get a picture of Brandon hanging in between your two maps. You really want to put a picture of Brandon on the board? Oh, we can put Brandon on the, can put it like he's the king or some little dictator, or he's Kennedy. You just stick it there on the wall and that's where it stays. Oh, but we got to put him in like a military uniform. Yeah, maybe we should do that. Get a portrait of Brandon, looking very dignified. Talking about this white star line still. Angelina says, I like how you both apparently started a YouTube channel a year ago. Yours is much more successful. Congratulations to you, face. Ange, your channel will grow. You just got to make the content. I think people would want to see the content. Yeah, we both started at the same time, but make some content. I think people would want to see some more 18th century stuff that you make or whatever you make. You just got to get out there. Anyone else who want to doing YouTube stuff, really, the biggest thing is making content. It's hard, but that is really what builds the audience. That's why I have all of you people here who like watching me online. So I appreciate it. I never knew that would happen. God, getting awkward now. Lafayette Bomber. I may or not be Brandon. You're not Brandon. I know how Brandon talks. You don't talk like Brandon. Unless Brandon has an alter ego and actually will talk different, which would be Brandon. So, Nine-Tailed Fox, supposed to be very. Oh, they're still talking about it. Cecily says, frame it like it's the portrait of the president that hangs in every DMV and courthouse. yeah, that is. Yeah, put it in some like little shitty frame. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. And you have like the governor next to it. Yeah. But then I have to paint the wall in some really stupid color that. So you got to grind the con. She's right. You do have to grind. I mean, even this small channel, you see my God, there's still it takes a lot, and I don't even put out it as much as I really should or could. It just does take a lot of time and energy. So there is a commitment factor to doing YouTube. But yeah, the big thing is just to make the content, and the people will come. For better or for worse. JT Nelson says Brandon for Supreme, not so benevolent leader. Yeah, Brandon would make a Supreme leader. What kind? Oh man. I shouldn't say much. I might get executed. I'm just kidding. I'd support Brandon as Supreme leader. The world would be a better place. He'd make the great things happen. Put Brandon in my Grenadier Guards mess dress capital. Yeah, that'd be a good dictator Brandon portrait in Grenadier Guards mess dress. It'd look very important. Or he's the colonel who died in some battle in Africa or Asia, gallantly fighting. That's Brandon. Aaron Hook, can you confirm the rumors that Brandon, despite his many public attacks upon the art form, has significant investments in the most successful anime studio in Japan? I cannot confirm nor deny this accusation or comment. Please see our managers for that. No comment. Angelina says, being a retail manager kind of eats my life. Yeah, life does eat. That's why you got to do the Shia LaBeouf thing and just do it. It's a terrible way though to tell people to live their life. Just do it. But yeah, really, just make the content. It'll be great. Ian looks forward to seeing it, and I look forward to seeing it. Okay. Oh, have you ever been on a ship before? A ship that moves or a ship that is stationary? I have been on both. Um, I've been on Staten Island ferry, though the Staten Island ferry is not technically a ship. I have been on various museum ships, but in terms of a ship that actually moves, I don't think, only boats. But I have been on museum ships, like the USS Massachusetts and such. Cecily, he's gonna have to circle back to you on that. Am I circling? I don't even know where I'm circling anymore. I'm just scrolling through here. I don't know which comments are connected to what. Okay, so tell Ange. I'm not telling Ange to quit, Ian. That would be wrong. Ange makes good content. At least the one video I saw, I thought was good. So don't tell your significant other to quit. That would be mean. Ange, now would be a good time to maybe to hit Ian or tell him to take a walk around the neighborhood. Lafayette Bomber. A fun game is to watch one of Brandon's YouTube videos and see how many times he says, "You see." Oh, yes, that actually is true. That would actually, I guess it'd be someone, I'm surprised someone hasn't created a drinking game. You'd be pretty messed up by the end of that. JT Nelson. Brandon can't die. He has pre-made clones to transfer his soul into. Can someone please find JT Nelson? That is information he is not supposed to know. So please someone go take care of that. Thanks. Ian Graves. You are our marriage talk, dude. Oh God. Am I in? Is this like, oh God. Is this like Dr. Phil, but like bitrate Dr. Phil? Oh God. What is going on here? Ninetale Fox says, when you said Colonel, I instantly thought of you saying, it's Colonel I Party. Yes, you remember that from the Redcoats react to the ASMR video, Colonel I Party. Yeah, he is totally Colonel I Party. See, he probably spent all his money on his commission, so he had to go buy his uniform at his local I Party. If you guys haven't seen that video, I highly recommend that video that Brandon, Chris, and I did on Brandon's channel. It's the most recent video. That's probably one of my favorite videos I think on the internet. I'm in it, but I really enjoyed it. Normally I don't like seeing myself, but doing this YouTube stuff, I actually enjoy seeing myself more. Oh, Ian Graves says no, quit her job, not YouTube. Yes, Ange, Ian is telling me you should quit. You should quit your job, and he's right. You should quit your job and work for him and do YouTube. I think that would be a great idea. You'd be happy, Ian would be happy, and you'd have a very rewarding life, and you wouldn't have to go into the semi-abandoned mall there in Connecticut. I think you should. I agree with Ian. So please do that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think the 13 people currently watching would agree with me on that. Winston was on the ship. He was on the SS Norway in 1989. It's cool. I've never been on a ship that was moving, though. Comment. If you're going to hit Ian, please post a GIF. Yes. If anyone ever hits Ian Graves of Royal Blue Traders, please take a video of it. I think that would be great. Ange says, I like you way better than Brandon. I appreciate that. I think that's good. Though if I think we keep having comments like that, we're going to have to duel. Oh, God. Though actually, I think I might. This is really cocky being like this, but I think I might be better at dueling than Brandon if it's with pistols. Maybe. Let's just not duel. That would be bad. My comment says, do not remind me of that video. Yes, my friend here is still traumatized by that, us reacting to that ASMR video. Well, to be honest with you, I am very traumatized from that too. That was wretched. That was very wretched. Cecily says, drink every time Brandon uses an English phrase that sounds anachronistic in modern American English. Yeah, that'd probably be a fun one too. Actually, that might be a good little publication that we can all make. A drinking game to Brandon's videos. Could probably make a cool little drinking game book out of that. Oh, maybe that's a merch idea right there, right? Ian says thank you. You're welcome. I hope the relationship advice here has worked successfully. If not, I'm sure I'll hear it when this live stream is over. Winston was also on the high-speed ferry to Weymouth to the Isle of Jersey. That's very cool. Dominion of Quebec. We have the Dominion of Quebec here. It's 14 people, though. Yes, it's 14 people. God, you guys. Wow. I'm surprised you guys like this. I didn't know it would be this successful. I thought like 2 people would show up and it last like 15 minutes. This is wild. This is like, I hope you guys enjoy this. Cecily says, I hate malls. Yeah, you should get a better job. Yeah, malls are pretty wretched. Our local mall is going to start to die soon too. So malls blow. But this mall though that Ange works at is there's nothing there anyway. So it's not even a mall. It's just a store inside of an abandoned building. That's all it is. Lafayette Bomber says, let's see how long we can make John keep up this live stream. Oh God. Who has the will? Who is the longer stamina here? Lafayette Bomber's like, it's always me. Minute of Quebec says now it's 13, 12. Now we're up to 15. Lafayette Bomber redacted his message. Must have been bad. Minute Quebec. Oh look, it's Colonel I Party. Yeah, maybe guys, do we need a look? It's Colonel I Party T-shirt or something. I don't know. We need something. That was my phrase in that thing. I'm glad. It was weird because no one when we were watching the video, no one liked that. But then you guys were all talking about it, so I guess it actually did hit more than I had expected. Nine-tailed Fox says he still has nightmares from that the ASMR video we watched and reacted to. Yeah, same mate, same. That video was something. Oh God, it was wretched. Please God, not again. Also, if you check out the other of those guys' videos, they're also equally as off-putting. Maybe not off-putting, but it makes me uncomfortable. Especially the one where he has a Soviet one too. Like that is like, oh God, I don't know if that's in good taste. And she says, oh, the ASMR black hole. That was her horrific. Yeah. I think everyone's on the same page about that ASMR one. I want you guys to know though, if for some reason I die or am killed, it's not going to be Brandon. It's I know you guys because we're talking about him, but it's going to be that ASMR guy. He's going to kill me because we're talking about so he's the first guy to suspect. Just know that. All right. Colonel Ipar did the honorable East India Company. Actually, my friend of mine was talking. Oh yeah. Oh no. You are the one who's saying it. Colonel Ipar did the honorable East India Company. Yeah, that's still the best joke. I mean, it makes sense. He's a colonel of the East India Company. No wonder he got his uniform from my party. Yeah. Lafayette Bomber. If you do Brandon will fire on the 9th pace. Thanks for that little tip. I appreciate that. Guys, I think we're gonna have to do it. Brandon, we're gonna have to duel. It's been stated multiple times now. I know T.E. Lawrence says nothing is written, but this seems like it's written. This is just gonna have to happen. Winston was also on HMS Rose in the 1990s on the Battle of Fairfield, Connecticut. Yeah, I'd like to see her. She's really cool. The HMS Rose. Ian, 4 more years. Cecily, I found this channel from Jim Cheese, the Patriot ASMR. Thank you for making me cringe. Yeah, I still cringe, Cecily. That video is oh. I think I need to talk to a therapist after watching that video because that really kind of screwed me up. I think 4 more years. Yes, Ian, 4 more years. Not for you though. They didn't want you for city council. JT Nelson, all Brandon jokes aside, your channel is awesome. I always keep sorry. You should put all my glasses on. Your channel is awesome. I always look out for your great content. Keep up the great work. Thanks, JT Nelson. I appreciate it. I'm really glad you guys like the content. I appreciate it. It's oddly humbling because I'm just this guy who's making videos online. It's just really nice to see you guys enjoying the content. Thanks. And Ted Fox. We don't have iParties out here. We got Party City. Yeah, we have Party City here too. We don't have iParty, though they sell the same shit from China anyway. So yeah. Jacob Dugan. Oh, you made it. I thought it was too late there in Australia. You made it, mate. Thanks for joining in. So I guess it might be starting the morning in Australia or something. So yeah, thanks for joining us here, Jacob. It's nice to have you. Good day, Jono. Inspired me to get into reenactment. I joined group that specializes in Royal Australian Air Force Monitoring. Thanks, Jacob. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm still happy that I helped you get into reenacting. It's a good hobby. You won't have money for anything else getting into this, so don't worry. In 5 years, you'll be like, I have no money because of this stupid guy in line. I'm sorry. Comment. None of these videos are in good taste. Yeah, Comment's right. That ASMR gym guy. None of those videos are in the dandiest of good taste. They are wretched. And I'm sorry, ASMR Jim. You ever see this video? It's just like I agree with Brandon's assessment of him. It's just not good. Lafayette Bomber, make a Redcoats reenact channel. You got to spam Brandon or Chris about that. Maybe that's what we need. Redcoats reenact, or maybe we just need to make more of those videos. I don't necessarily know if we need another channel, but we definitely need to make more of those videos because those were definitely really fun. I think we'd enjoy more if though it wasn't those ASMR or whatever videos. Yeah, but yeah, maybe we'll have to make some more of those. Freedom of Quebec. I laughed about that too. Yeah. For sure. Brandon's Flint flooded the comments of that ASMR video. People in the comments were going on about how the uniform is so great, the video is calming, and his really, I didn't go and look at the video, so that people flooded on. That's pretty awesome. So you guys got to remember, if you're gonna leave comments on things, you're not necessarily you're actually doing that guy a lot of good. It makes the algorithm think that people love this content. So just remember that though. You might be wanting to comment, but it does benefit his channel. So it helps with engagement. So just remember. Jacob says, I'm currently doing my private pilot's license in order to fly our group's 1939 Tiger Moth and its Spitfire once that is fully restored. Jacob, that's going to be really cool. That's Jacob is going to live the life we all wish we had. And that's the epitome of reenacting right there when you get to fly a Tiger Moth or a Spit. Like that's you've made it. You don't need to do anything else in your life. You can just sit back and die. Laffy Bomber, what type of Jeep do you drive? I do not drive a Jeep. Do we think I drive a Jeep? Is it because it's an open top? I do not drive a Jeep though. I'm sorry. That breaks the motif the imagery there. Sorry. Dominion of Quebec retracted his message. Why did the Quebecois get in there? Cicely says, I enjoy a lot of ASMR from many better artists. They have the sense to either get better historic accuracy or create a clearly fictional premise. But yeah, that is true. There actually is some ASMR that is not like Jim. Most is not, I don't think, like that. And again, maybe that is the thing for some people. I don't want to knock it. It's just definitely not my thing. So that's just my opinion. Yeah. So let's talk about Jacob's cool thing. Yeah, and that is cool. Ian says, I drive a rich person car. Yeah, I wish I drove a rich person car like an E-Type Jag. That'd be really nice, but I do not drive a rich person car, regrettably. If you guys want to all donate and make me a rich person, we can work something out. But regrettably, until now, I do not drive a rich person car. But if anyone wants to get a Series 1 Jaguar, that'd be dandy. So thanks in advance. I'm just kidding. You don't need to get me any type Jaguar. So I think we've made it to the end with. Oh nope, there's King George. There's a man named Massage ASMR. He's a pioneer of ASMR on YouTube. It is very well done. Well, there you go. King George is telling you about what you need to know in ASMR and what is good and what is bad. So is that it, or I don't know. Never done this before. You guys done? We have made it through the comments that built up. You guys have some really good comments. This was kind of fun. It's nice seeing you all here. I recognize you all from the comment section and the comment section of Brandon and Chris's videos. So the same comment. It never ends, says Common Man. 4 more years. Cecily says we are done. But Ian says 4 more years. Oh God! And then they start flooding in. Here we go. Enlightened Edelweiss says, been lurking for quite a while. Hello. Enlightened Edelweiss, did you used to be Napoleon something, or are you just have a similar avatar? King George says, keep asking questions. It's only been 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's right. We're nearly halfway through a transatlantic flight, so that's bad. It's only half. Cecily says, God save the king. Cecily knows what's up. Cecily is on the has the right words and the right catchphrases. Though, when you say God save the king on Chris's channel, you get all those my rats people and they get upset. And she says, I mean, Ian could harass you some more, but he's outside with the dog. And then, no, but he's not. He's here saying the dog is sniffing everything. So, which one of you is lying? Which one of you is... Edelweiss says, oh, he has a similar avatar. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know. My dog Ian, though, is not sniffing everything. My dog is just laying on the floor, warm as hell, because the air conditioner is not on. But it's actually not too bad in here. But I'm actually not wearing the normal black pants you see me wear because it is warm, so I'm actually just wearing blue shorts. So if that ruins the image, I am very sorry, my boys and girls and people, subjects, whatever. It's just the way it is. I'm sorry. If you could add Patreon to your account, you could have just made $100. Yeah, I know. Lafayette Bomber, I messed up, okay? I can't win them all, okay? I'm not... fucked up, okay? Fucked up. King George says, I used to be Napoleon with the same avatar as was enlightened. I changed it after I had left the thread of comments on your first video. Oh, okay. So your guy's Napoleon. It's okay. I like the King George. It makes me happy that KG3 is here. And says lol, then he must be on his of course he's on his phone. He's always on his phone, Ian. Actually, no, he's not playing Fallout. So is he? Is it Ian if he's on his phone? He's supposed to be playing Fallout. Ian says, welcome to Settlers Row. You'll make tens of dollars. Guess we'll have to have Ian sometime come on and talk about settlering, maybe. If that's something you guys want to see. We can talk about some stuff. Ian's cool. He's funny. You guys probably enjoy having him come on. Ricky L says, best widely available 305 flying through pandemic and everything of people buying lots of firearms and lots of then ammunition. So I personally, I think 303, the Privy Partisan 174 grain full metal jacket is probably the most is what I would recommend. It's as close to the original loading as you can get commercially. It has the right chamfered edge on the rear of the casing on the rim. Has the appropriate bullet weight, though it is just a Mosin Nagant bullet repackaged into a 303 case. And it has the best price and has really good brass for reloading. So I'd recommend the Privy Partisan 174 grain 303. That's generally what I use when I'm using modern reproduction ammo, if it's not reloaded or some sort of original cartridge. Lafayette Bomber says, I've been commenting on your videos since the beginning, but I deleted my channel, so it does not look like it. Oh yeah, Lafayette has been there since the beginning. He used to have a little picture of a biplane on there. Yeah, you've been there. You've been here forever. I actually don't know. I don't know when everyone necessarily has been here, but I do know Lafayette was there for a while. Because he commented. That's why you guys get a comment, because then I know you're there. And he can't. Winston has been reenacting for 45 years. Yes, Winston has. Winston is the captain of our company in the 10th Regiment of Foot, the Colonel's Company. You guys want to come reenact British in the American War of Independence? Come over. We need guys. It's great. Come do it. It's fun. Actually, it's really fun. I think AWI is probably one of the, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what to say about AWI. I don't want to say things that aren't true, so we'll just stop there on AWA. Cecily says, Brandon would never kill you. That would require getting his hands dirty. He would just quietly commission a hitman to kill you. Yeah, that is true, except I'm probably the one who commissioned to kill me. No, but Brandon's a good friend. I don't think would either of us would kill each other. Brandon are the kind of people who we would conspire probably to do that. Would be like, we must take this man out in order for Brandon to be dictator for life. It must be done. But yeah, we might duel because you have someone else load. We could duel. You guys want to see us Brandon a duel live on television? All right, we're down to 10 people. So, oh, King George is coming in. King KG3 says, sadly, there are no American Revolution groups near me, hence why I'm joining a War of 1812 unit, but I'd love to join an American Revolution unit. Really? Because there are a lot. I'm not sure exactly where you live, but from here all the way out to Indiana, there's even a group in California that does. Out in California, there's a group that does 33rd Regiment of Foot. There's quite a few of them, though the big events do tend to be here on the East Coast. Ian says, Winston, you've been doing the hobby for like a while. Yes, Winston has been doing the hobby for like a while. That's longer than most people spend in a single job. Cecily says, we must install our benevolent supreme leader, Brandon. Yes. So if you guys, should we start a GoFundMe for Brandon for dictator? Ian says, King George do French. Oh, I can't knock it now because he's my friend and it's his unit. But also, if you guys are interested in doing French in the American War of Independence, I do recommend checking out the regiment, his regiment, the Bourbonnais. They do French in the American War of Independence. They're here in New England as well. And Ian is the field commander of that regiment and is also a tailor and makes the clothing for them. So if you're interested in doing French in AWI, go check Ian out. William says, Jesus, you're still up. Yes, I'm still up. Yeah. I normally would not be in bed by now, so talking to 11 people is just fine. King George III says, I've considered it close to me. It's old Fort Erie, and they do a Napoleonic reenactment there, but I chose War of 1812 because they do reenactment 200 from. Yeah, there you go. That's convenient for you, so do that. It says, I was polishing Winston's boots up hills both ways since before you were born. Damn, Ian. Do you lick boots too? KG3 says, not sure why they do Napoleonic reenactment, but they do it. Yeah, that's kind of bonkers. I'm not sure why they do that. It's weird. Napoleonic's cool, but it did not really happen here. So, interesting little thing there. Angelina says, I think French is cool, but I may be biased. Yeah, you're only seeing a guy who is the leader of a French unit, so yeah, probably a little biased there. Ever so slightly. And Ian says, yeah, so he confirmed that. She's biased. Oh, here they come. There's some more. French Napoleonic are dope, especially their Polish units. Yeah, they probably are. Not that into Napoleon. It's not that I'm not into it. It's just so many other things I do that Napoleonic I think is interesting and very cool. I just haven't done it. Just a lot. Their brigade Napoleon, they practice here. Okay. Cicely says, I'm from St. Louis, the Midwestern sister city of New Orleans. All the cool Frenchmen came here. Yes. All of the Frenchmen. St. Louis, never been to St. Louis, so I actually can't actually confirm that. I do know in St. Louis they have the Arch, and they had that housing project that got torn down. That was an urbanism class I took. Cabrini Agreement, Chicago. Something Ego Veto something. I don't know. Can't remember what it's called, but it was a big housing project in St. Louis. And says, there's units. I'm the units. Vivindiari. I don't know. I don't speak French, so I think British is cool, but I may be biased. Yeah, comma man. You better be biased. I don't want you hearing saying the Frencher quote because we're gonna have a real problem. Gonna have to talk to your sergeant if you say that. But Common Man is right. Common Man is in my unit in the 10th Regiment of Foot. British is the best. So do British. Lafayette Bomber, what is your greatest regret? Damn. Well, this is kind of heavy. I'm not entirely sure what my biggest regret is. I spent another live stream. Let me think about that. I don't normally try to regret things because I generally think that things happen, and then other things now that could happen now might not have happened if. So I try not to think about that too much. So maybe I can think about that some more. Ian says, my family lives in St. Louis. Yeah, Missouri, scenic Missouri. I've never been to Missouri, so I actually don't know if it's scenic or not. Lafayette says, what sparked your interest in history? I've kind of just been surrounded by it my entire life. My mom took me to a lot of living history things. I just kind of been interested in it since I was a kid. That was my thing. I never was a big sports person because I never found that really interesting to me so much. I just thought history was kind of interesting, and then obviously I had people in my life who encouraged that. So that's kind of how I got into history. There are, of course, things then of why I got into certain aspects of history, but yeah, I've just been into history. That was kind of the thing that interested me. Also, was really big into aviation, but then uh, that school cost a lot of money, so I didn't go there, and then so that aviation in my life ended there. William says, "Oh, he's talking about Lancers in the British Army. Yes, Lancers are pretty cool." Cecily says, "I think America is cool, but I may be biased." Yes, I think all things considered, America is a nice place to live, and I am probably everyone else might I don't know what they would think. But America is a nice place to live. It definitely does have its problems, but it is a decent place to live. I think, all things considered, every country has some issues, but we have some cool things I think in this country. Odd assortment of reenactment near me, one American Revolution unit, but I can't do it because certain events involve drinking and I'm underage. But there are also Fenian raids in 1812 and Napoleonic. Yeah, but if they're drinking, how does that preclude you from reenacting? Normally, you just don't drink. I mean, there's some drinking that happens in Rev War too, but you just don't have the miners drink. Problem solved, right? Doesn't seem very hard. Oh, a Victorian unit, that's cool. Comment says, I haven't been to Missouri, but I have prospects pretty entertaining. Sorry, guys, it cut out again. I don't know. The internet, like it's like on a regular thing here. Every 50 minutes, it decides it needs to do that. Yeah, I'm still laughing about the Missouri thing. Sorry, King George. Should ask him and be like, "Hey, I want to do this. Why won't you let me do this?" Ricky else's thoughts on Enfield's SMLEs and number fours getting brought into the U.S. by RTI. Sorry, I'm the gun guy. That's okay. Who is RTI? Could you clarify that before I answer that question? Maybe I'm not familiar. Oh, Royal Tiger Imports is I'm sure what he means. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I heard with Royal Tiger Imports that it can vary quite profusely. Um, you can either get something good and some things can be bad. Mostly, especially, I think I saw on a number four that the track that the bolt uh, face goes in, rides on, was totally knackered. So some of them seem to be okay, but some of them seem to have some issues. So I think it seems like it's like a lot of things. It's for the luck of the draw. So at least from what I've seen on Royal Tiger Imports. Can you relate with the statement "living on your own is not lonely if you have multiple personalities to talk to"? I think there's probably some truth to that. Though I can say, even so, it does can get still I think can get lonely. But you should see me sometimes when I'm editing and no one's around. I start yelling at myself, "You idiot! What did you do?" That's always fun. Who is your favorite historian to read? I do not have a favorite particular historian, as historians vary on different books and stuff. I think Don Haggis is probably a pretty decent guy, but I need to actually read his stuff. But he seems like he puts out good books. Probably be the one single favorite because he probably has the longest string of books that I would read. So probably him, maybe. What state are you from? I am from New Hampshire. Not old, not the old one. Should I be saying that? You guys gonna like come find me now? If this happens, that's not cool, guys. It's not cool. Angelina says it's a position unique to the French in the 18th century. You see the position crop up more commonly elsewhere, more in the 19th century. Sometimes you're sure is it Kenya. Okay, I've been educated by Angelina on what that means. King George III says favorite uniforms other than Wehrmacht and S. I hate to say it, but Wehrmacht and SS are not my favorite uniforms. I think they look good, but they did some terrible things, and it's hard to separate them from that, I think. Ian Graves says, I will find you. Yeah, it's easy for you to find me because you know where I live. It's not that tough. What state do you hate? I don't know. I don't want to start a state war here. Is it like the most disliked? I don't know. Yeah, let's not start state war right now because that's not going to be fun. Then someone's going to come at you, damn Yankee, you don't like this place? Was there me too? Me too, Brendan. Graves. No, you don't have. I've never had you over, but you have things at your house that probably have my address on them. So you could probably ask your dad and look in my thing, the 10th information. Well, Ian, I've never had you also over because it seems like you never want to leave your house. So of course I've never had you over. Angelina says I dislike Mass. Yeah, there's some stuff in Mass. It's not ideal. But can you really say that living in Connecticut? William says, who is the nastiest person you've ever had the displeasure of meeting? I don't know if I've necessarily met anyone that is nasty. I've seen people who are nasty, but I don't think I've ever met people who are nasty. There are definitely people I've met who are like, you have some issues, I guess, but never nasty. Or never that I would probably say online. Everyone from New Hampshire hates Vermont and Massachusetts. I don't know. I don't really hate either of those states. I actually think Vermont's quite nice. I think everyone gets behind Mass being pretty bad. Comment says, oh, I never got all the wanking about SS uniforms. Oh, Hugo Boss, I don't get it. Actually, just so everyone's clear, Hugo Boss did not actually design uniforms during the Second World War. He merely produced uniforms, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, the wanking on SS uniforms gets really close to fetishization sometimes, in my opinion. So I just wanna. That's my opinion. Life at Bomber, make a fan mail. What are you guys gonna send me? Like a letter bomb or something? It's gonna be like the Quebec freedom movement. You're gonna go put a letter bomb in my mailbox. Do I want that? Do I really want that? Maybe we'll consider it though. Cecily says your average redcoat had better drip than the SS. That's true. I agree. Also, if you want to talk about uniforms, I really actually do like the British AWI uniforms. I think they're really cool. I think one of you asked me about what uniforms I liked. I don't know. I can't remember now. So many, but I also do like the British kits with shorts. Those are always really cool. I think. Let's see. Angelina says Connecticut people hate Mass, particularly border towns, and there's actually a historic reason for it. Oh boy, we start getting into New England history there. There's some wild stuff. Ricky L says, cool historic places to visit In the Boston area. I'm a big history guy from Wisconsin and visiting for the first time. Um, Ricky L. Um, is there any particular time period you're interested in visiting? Uh, what's your time frame? Because there are definitely some cool things. Clarify a little. I know that sounds negative when I say that, but just let me know what if there's specific periods because there definitely are some cool ones. Follower, follow New Hampshire person. William says, objectively, the best uniform in history are the chainmail and livery of the Knights of Hastings 956 years ago. Yeah, I get those. That's a classic choice, I suppose. The bottom favorite Commonwealth flag of all time. Hmm. I think the Burma one's pretty cool. The India one's pretty cool. Um, I think I do like the Hong Kong one with the pre crest one with the ships in the background and the stuff on the wharf. I do like that one. Maybe that's my favorite. Comments is USS Constitution. Yeah, I would agree with Common Man. In general, visiting the Charlestown, what was the Boston Navy Yard, which is in Charlestown, is pretty cool. I'm not sure how far you can travel from Boston, but going to Battleship Cove and Fall River is really cool. Um, that is definitely neat. But if you do want to see something kind of close, which is in Quincy, you can see the heavy cruiser USS Salem, which is the only heavy cruiser left in existence, which is close to Boston. Um, I don't know. Maybe that's not the kind of stuff you want to see. I'm not sure. Comments is Bunker Hill. Yeah, Bunker Hill's a solid thing to go to too. A lot of AWI stuff there, obviously. Says Chris versus Brandon. Who wins? So if we're talking a Chris versus Brandon thing, what is this scenario? Why are they fighting? Where are they fighting? Do they have weapons? No weapons? Are they just fisting? Oh, fisting. Someone's gonna make a stupid thing. Like, are they just punching each other? You tell me. That I think changes who wins. If it's an all-out slugfest, Chris might win that one. King George says German Second World War uniforms are overrated. People praise them too much. Parker's militia form over SS. Yeah, King George is right. SS uniforms get way too much credence. Also, now that we've been talking about the SS in Nazi Germany, good thing I'm not monetized because, man, this says Chris Redcoat would win from sheer, yes, doggedness. Yes, Chris would win from his sheer doggedness, and yeah, Chris would win in a slugfest. Yeah, tour guide in Boston. Guess yeah. So if you want to, if you are visiting Boston, want to go on a historic like AWI stuff about AWI in Boston and colonial American history, you can find Winston. You can message me on the Facebook page. And he can put you in touch with him. He does give tours. Works for a tour company in the city. So if you'd like to do that, second. If someone give me like anthrax or something, thanks. I appreciate it. Like there's a reason Connecticut, Mass border towns seceded. Yeah. Notice though how it's on that edge? It's on the Connecticut, Mass edge. Connecticut, Mass are wild places. Oh, Nine-Tailed Fox is back. Oh my god, and we're up to 17 people now. Oh my god. Oh yeah, and Lafayette just brought up we gained 7 people. I feel like this is a challenge now. I feel like you guys are making me see how long I can go now. This is wild. I'm dragging you all with me. And it involves a famine. It always involves a famine, doesn't it? William says, what do you think about the problematic occupation of northern Cyprus by the Turks? Yeah, that's a long thing to get into, which we're not going to get into today. Because that's a whole thing there. Though I am good friends with a Turkish Cypriot. Chris versus Brandon in a sword duel. Actually, neither of them have a lot of sword experience. that I'm aware of. So Chris had his hanger from when he was a sergeant, but uh, actually that might be anyone's game at that point. What town in New Hampshire do you live in? In the south of the state near Amherst? I don't think I'm going to answer that question. I don't think people need to know where I live right now. I do live in the southern half of the state. That's all you need. Where the people actually live. In like Coas County where the paper mills are and kind of used to be. Lafayette Bomber. Get a chat monitor. Yeah, that'd probably be good. Except that'd be more money. So my chat monitor is the cell phone. Oh, a chat moderator? Is that what it means? 3 hours, 5 minutes, King George. Yeah, that's right. 3 hours and 5 minutes. Yeah, get a chat mod. Yeah, well, someone can inform me about a chat mod in the future, and we can talk about this. This is the first time. Who knows? This might be the last time too. No, I'm just kidding. We'll probably do this again if you guys like this. Yeah, chat moderator. Angelina says, "Go to bed." Yeah, I'll go to bed soon. It's 4 week baby says, "Dang, we are making Jonathan pull an all nighter." I haven't pulled an all nighter in a few years. Um, yeah, all nighters aren't the most fun. It's actually only 11:07 here on the East Coast. I've been going to bed in the past 3 days at like 1 a.m. So could have been just getting home late from doing some stuff or just watching some films. So it's not that late. Afterwards says, I think he lives in Essex. I do not live in Essex, though I sometimes do drive through Essex when I go to my friend's house, actually. Essex is really pretty, except knowing, unless you're rich, you can't afford to live in Essex. But how will we stalk you? Really? The internet exists. It's pretty easy to. Though Cal knows how to stalk. Cal's gonna stalk me. Just to be funny. Ian Graves. I'll monitor the chats. Oh man, if Ian monitors the chats, we're in for a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for a wild ride. Common man. Do I know you? No, Ian, you do not know Common man. Just pretend. My Southern New Hampshire boy. Yes, I am Southern New Hampshire boy. I do like Southern New Hampshire. It is kind of nice here, except they're just doing a lot of building because all the people from Mass want to live here. So they're developing all the farms. Like we got to put in this shitty looking house. And we got to cut down every single tree we see. Did you ever watch Anthropod 2016? I have not. Lafayette Bomber. I have enough tea to get me through the next 2 months, so this will not end soon. Oh God, this is like a standoff. This is a siege. Lafayette Bombers is ready for a siege. Shit, I've seen Cartoon. I know how this ends. All right. Oh, there's King George. I recommend The Patriot. It's a great movie, well researched, well made, and extremely realistic. King George, you know better than that. Nine-tailed Fox will support Lafayette. What a guy. Favorite city in Germany? I can't. I've never been to Germany, so I don't think I can answer that question. I'd like to visit Germany though. What is the worst film you've ever watched aside from The Patriot and this live stream? Damn, guys, should he get banned? Should we ban William Le Batard, Duke of the Normans? I don't think I've seen bad film. I don't keep that stuff in my memory. I've got too many other things to worry about. The colonial era, as well as the founding of the republic, are the most interesting. Up to 2 hours by car from Boston are cool. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in 2 hours by Boston by car. It really so colonial definitely see some of the stuff in Boston. There's a lot of good stuff there. Like the State House. You might just want to go on a tour actually. It might be fun for you, because there's a lot to cover. Um, so it depends. If you don't want to go on a tour, you can always message me and I can recommend some places. Also, Common Man has told you some good stuff like Bunker Hill. And if you can go to, I would go to Minuteman National Park. That's cool. That's where it all. That's where shit hit the fan on April 19th, 1775. So that's definitely a place you want to check out. Civil War week by week is back. Yes. Duke of the Normans is sorry. It's okay. I'm not going to ban you. Don't worry. I haven't banned anyone yet. Winston is turning in. Thanks for joining us, Winston. Great to have you. See you soon. Have you ever been to Philadelphia? I have not been to Philadelphia. I've been near Philadelphia, but I have not been to Philadelphia. Obviously, it'd be great to go to Philadelphia. A lot of good AWI sites in Philadelphia. Also, we got a lot of good AWI sites here in Boston. So Ricky L should come check that out. That'd be cool. Also, Ricky L, if you like colonial history, you should go to the USS Constitution Museum because that's pretty cool. It's free. I think they just ask for a donation, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So, what sports teams do you support? I don't really support sports teams because I don't really watch sports. I give the bare minimum support for a New England sports teams when they're doing something because I feel like I have to do something. But really, I do not. I don't watch too many sports. It's just not something I ever really got into. Now I'm going to get crucified for that. Jeff says, "Happy birthday, Mr. Brook." Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. Thanks. Nice to have you here. William says, "Monmouth is a cool battlefield." Yes, Monmouth is a very cool place. For those who don't know, Monmouth is in New Jersey, which is where the Battle of Monmouth took place, and it is very cool. Again, favorite event. Philly gang, yes. I'd love to. I should go to Philadelphia at some point. The Museum of the American Revolution is in Philadelphia, so gonna have to go to Philadelphia at some point to see that. The field where the Red Baron got shot down is just a field that's still cool. Yeah, that must be cool. A lot of France is still a field, actually. A lot of Europe still has fields. America, we're just like, let's put a parking lot on that. Comment says he's gonna check out and catch up with you later. Yeah. Get in touch with me later, Cal. Thanks. We'll see you soon, Common Man. Jersey gang, yeah, Jersey gang. All right, we've kind of made it to the end, so we'll do what we're at 3:13. We'll give it maybe 10 minutes. So ask your last questions if you have them. We end this because Jonathan doesn't want to get something to drink and then get ready to go to bed. Oh, maybe that's it. The Duke of the Norman. Is this it? Is this the end? Is this where we? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I got to think about that one. Of what other country I would reenact besides Great Britain. I really got to think about that one. I think some of the Japanese stuff is cool, but I just don't look Japanese, so I don't think I'd ever feel comfortable doing that. I kind of like to at least portray a thing that I look, because I don't know, it's just me. Why do you do this yourself? Do you mean like why do I do YouTube by myself, or why am I streaming by myself? Do you like sensible neckwear too? I think I don't know. I don't know. Is this considered sensible? What does sensible even mean anymore? Jeff F. Which blue ensign do you have on the wall? So this, if those of you who weren't here earlier, this is the flag of the Straits Settlements, also known as British Malaya, which would encompass the settlements of Malacca. Malacca. What are they? Malacca, Singapore. That island that Georgetown is on. God, I can't remember at the top of my head. It's getting late. But yeah, it's British. It's the flag of British Malaya. The specific colonies, not necessarily not the federated or unfederated states, but the British colonial settlements themselves. Your favorite city is Detroit. Detroit's cool. I was in Detroit a few years ago. It was very empty. but there's some really nice buildings in Detroit. Angelina, do you like burbs? What is a burb? Engraved. Reenact France. I'm not going to reenact France. And also, you know that my regiment would not. You can only do them because of quote commitment things. Just want you to do one thing at a time, which I think is understandable. So I can't do French. Wait, I have 24 more questions. You better make it quick then. What is your primary ethnicity? Like, what is the majority ethnicity? Cecily says L. So week by week, it was a joke about how tired you are. Oh yeah, I am starting to get tired. Yes, yes, that's true. Graves, sure, it's fine. Jeff says, "Oh Malaya, I have a New South Wales. You have a New South Wales flag. That's very cool. I do not have a New South Wales flag though. I could not even fit one in here. At least that you would ever see on camera." Ricky L says, "How is Ian from Forgotten Weapons in person? Really nice guy. Just like most people on the internet in the history community, he was a genuinely nice, right bloke. He was really nice and was generally interested in hearing and talking to people and answering their questions. So I'd consider that an A plus. Any Revolutionary War book recommendations? Yes, I would recommend any of the books by Don Haggist on the American War of Independence. Also, another good read is The Men Who Lost America by Andrew Jackson O'Shaughnessy. Caleb says, I live in Mount Vernon, like 20 minutes away from 20 minutes away. What are the odds? Yeah, that's wild. Small world. Are you going to do more streams in the future? Says Isaac Carter. I will do more live streams in the future if you guys enjoy this. I'm not entirely. I was not sure how this was going to go, but if you guys enjoy it, I will do more of them. Oh my god, we have 20 people again. Yes, we can do more if you guys like this. Nine-tailed fox. It's a wasteland of pure suffering and pain. You must have gone to a different Detroit. Well, there were just a lot of cool Art Deco buildings in Detroit that I really enjoyed seeing. So that is what. So that is what I enjoyed, and I thought it was cool to see in a bit kind of a somewhat abandoned city like that. But yes, I definitely was a city of pain and suffering. It's a shame that the Packard bridge between the plant there collapsed. King George III. Enlightened, you should check out Brandon's video about a very accurate revolutionary book that talks about how they dual-wielded firearms. Yes, I know that book. That book was actually drop-kicked at the Chase Farm reenactment. Yes, I know that book very well. That's why it actually has the crease in it, because Chris, of Chris the Redcoat, drop-kicked that at the Chase Farm. It's a little history on why that book has a crease in it when you see that video. Also, thoughts on Bridge on the River Kwai. I like Bridge on the River Kwai. It's not necessarily exactly something that happened, but I think it captures the essence of POW suffering from soldiers captured in Singapore after the fall. It's good. Maybe that warrants a review or something. There's definitely inaccuracies in it. There's probably slightly guess there's a little bit of anti-Japanese on the bridge building component. If you could probably make an argument for that. But all in all, it is a very good movie and a prime example of what cinema should be. I know I think for some people it's too anti-war, but Bridge on the River Kwai is probably one of my favorite films. That and Lawrence of Arabia. Lafayette Bomber, the siege is up, mate. So you give in? You give in? Yeah, there we go. William says also go to Chatham, Mass, and stock Bernard Corn. Oh, I don't have time to stock anybody actually. And says birds, birds. Do I like birds? Yeah, I think I kind of like birds in a way. They're pretty cool. We have some birds, I think. If you consider a hen a bird. Lafayette Bomber says good night. Good night, Lafayette Bomber. Nice to have you here. Nine-tailed fox. Even the bridge didn't want to stay in Detroit. No, Nine-tailed fox. That was good. Yeah, the Packard Bridge did not even want to stay in Detroit. That's true. That was a good one. That was a really good one. Cecily says the British invented anime. The British invented anime dual wielding. Yeah, according to that book of it's technically Colton's book, that the British did invent the dual wielding. SMLE versus number 4. Actually, I have in my book the little Far Station book here to make a SMLE versus number 4 in terms of the differences between the two and why they did that. In terms of what do I prefer, the SMLE has a lot more history to it. In terms of a shooter, though, the number 4s are usually in better shape. So it depends. But I do like a good SMLE. If I had to pick one, I would pick the SMLE because it just has a lot of good history to it. William, the Duke of Norman says, ever watched Door Monster? I have not watched Door Monster. You'll find that I have not watched a lot of things. All right, we're down to 8, so the pickings are slim. Okay, so I think we're going to start to wrap it up there. So if you guys want to do more of these live streams, let me know. Comment on something somewhere. We can do some more of these. I think this went pretty well for the first one. Nine-tailed fox is staying till the end. Nine-tailed fox, I think you're gonna need a medal, aren't you? You're gonna need a. I'll mention you in dispatches. Commented something somewhere. Yes, Cecily, I know. I comment on something somewhere. You just tell me. You guys can message me on Facebook, on that little Facebook thing I have. You can also then, when I eventually create the Instagram, you can message me there. Just try not to message me incessantly. You don't have to message it all the time. It's cool if you message me though, but I try to get to as many things as possible. Just not always possible. So yeah, so come find me there, and I'll create some more social media stuff. You guys can come and find me. And again, find me any one of those places and just leave a comment or something. Just let me know, and we can do some more of this. James, gentlemen, it's been an honor watching with you tonight. Near my guard to these plays. Yes, James, we're going down. This is the final death throw. So anyway, thank you all for coming along. Get in contact if you need anything. Message me if you have any things you want to see, and just helps me know what you guys want to see. So anyway, I think au revoir, and as the current sign off has been, cheers. We got to change that though, maybe. Anyway, Willie says goodbye. We get into the lifeboat as the stern of Royal Mail Ship Titanic goes beneath the waves. Good night, everybody, and toodles. Oh, yes, I guess I have to end it. Now we end it.